Yep, camera today. Oh, my is that better? No. Bring it. It is messing around to I remember to do that because we're different. And then so I can get it sorted out. No sound. Okay, so that one needs to come on. That one needs to come off. How's that? Hmm. I'm not supposed to be hearing myself. Uh, Mute that one. How's that? Is that better? How's the sound now? If there's sound. Sounds good? Okay, there's always a buffer. It's you say it sounds good. I continued to click some stuff, so I'm gonna keep talking as if it sounds good. Just let me know. And hello, Linda. Hello, Terry Lynn. Hello, Tammy. I am just hanging around today, not doing much. I'm trying to get caught up because I didn't do any. Look at this. This has been sitting all week. All for the holiday. Okay, where's that one going? Which one is which again? Okay. Okay. That one. Top camera. This one, I can move around. This one I've got, let's do this again. So I've got that little camera. That way if I'm, sound is gone again. Damn. Sound is gone again. What did I do? What did I do? I can do this without two cameras. So that part's fine. But I just got to see. How about now? Can you hear me now? Oh, wait. I'm not echoing. I think I've done it right this time. Does it sound back? How's the sound right now? I'm just going to give it a minute because what I did is I clicked a whole bunch of stuff all at once. And it's like, that was dumb because I've got no feedback. And there's a buffer. That's a buffer. Okay. I'm here. Yay. How was your New Year's? How was your New Year's, everybody? So this one here, I can move around. This one here, I can move around. I can do it with just one camera. That's absolutely fine. But that way, if I want to hold something up, I can move this camera all over the place if I need to. Because I know that if I'm sewing something, people like to be able to watch the sewing. So that's all I hooked this one up for. Plus, if /1, I've got a couple of tutorials that I want to do. I want to do a couple of tutorials, and if I'm going to do them live, there we go. I've got a couple of tutorials I want to do, and if I'm going to do them live, then obviously I'm going to need to. You know what I did? I took a big chug of pop just before I turned the camera on. Now I'm trying not to burp. If I want to do a live tutorial, I will need two cameras to show you guys what's what. Yeah, we had a really quiet Christmas and New Year, so life was good that way. We bought Christmas Day. Hi, Autumn Rose. Christmas Day, when our son was over, he made a comment about, oh, you should buy yourself a video game. Keep yourselves busy, right? So we ended up getting Baldur's Gate, and he talked us through getting started. And if you've ever played Dungeons and Dragons or heard of Dungeons and Dragons or like the idea of Dungeons and Dragons, it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. At least we've got like in the week between Christmas Day and today, we've put like 40 hours into the game already. It's been like just Lisa didn't work. I didn't work. Usually during the holidays, one of us is working, doing something. So yeah, this is the first time in a long time that we've just went, we're not doing anything. Screw that shit. Anyway, I just thought one of the things I'm not changing. I think I'm changing stuff with the channel, not in any serious way, but I never have time to actually sit down and film. I never always have a project in mind to show you guys. And the main reason why I started this channel, the tarot channel, the sewing channel, was for social. So it's like, why am I not just going live? Yeah, gaming together is fun. And you know what? Okay, Baldur's Gate has got a lot of strategy in it, like a ton of strategy, right? But because we're in the same house, just across the room for each other, if Lisa's sorting out something that she wants to do, well, if you've ever played Dungeons and Dragons, there's a lot of planning and organizing. Oh, you got sick, Terry Lynn? That's not fun. Yeah, Baldur's Gate is because it's Dungeons and Dragons style. There's a lot of planning and strategizing and things like that. And it can take you like 20 minutes to sort out if you get a new weapon or a new armor or something as you're playing through the game. It can take you like 20 minutes to sort out. Do I want it? Do I need it? Do I want? And you've got multiple characters. Do I want it on this character or this character? So when that's going on, the other one could just get, I'm going to go get a drink. Do you want me to get a snack? Like I got up and made dinner, right? When Lisa had gotten, we had a big encounter. We had one of our big encounters, and most of the loot that we got was, I've got a couple of characters that I'm kind of focusing on. And then she's got a few characters. Baldur's Gate is weird. You get what's called, well, we call them NPCs. I don't know what the game calls them, but additional computer generated characters that you can manage and control. And I'm kind of controlling these couple of characters here, and Lisa's controlling these ones over here. Well, we got a bunch of loot from a loot run, from an encounter, a boss battle. We got a bunch of, everybody knows what that stuff is now, right? I think video games have been around long enough that I don't have to explain boss encounters and stuff. Anyway, most of the loot that we got was beneficial to her character and the characters that she was controlling. I got up and made dinner, came back. She's still sorting it out. It's fine. Then we ate dinner, picked up where we left off. It was great. It's been fun. I was actually really surprised how much I've liked it. And it's turn-based. If you like those kind of games, but you don't like to shoot them up, then you would, if you don't mind a slower paced game that is all turn-based, like when it's a battle, Lisa decides what she's going to do and then does it. And I'm just like, waiting for my turn. So if you like video gaming, but do not like the button smashing, shoot 'em up type stuff that happens, you might actually really enjoy Baldur's Gate. But that said, and apparently you can play through on different modes too. You can make it hard. You can make it easy. You can go for all the objectives, none of the objectives. And it's not a monthly fee. You just buy it and you're done with it. But anyway, that's been our big excitement. That has been our big, huge, giant excitement for Christmas. And well, I guess, we had to get Lisa a new computer. That was fun. Kind of turned out to be a blessing, though. Generally speaking, around Christmas time, that's when you're doing all the things. So you're usually doing all the things and you come out of Christmas going, we shouldn't do anything big for a while, right? We didn't do anything. Bought a video game. So we didn't do much. Well, we can't say that. We did a few little things. So that was nice. We went out to dinner with some friends, bought the game. So when her computer decided to be a stubborn PO, we were able to just go ahead and get the computer. That's the punchline. We actually did a car chat over on the podcast channel about it. But anyway, I have to work. I'm working today. Okay, so I'm going to be going in circles. This is what I do on a good day anyway, right? So I thought that it would just be nice to work and hang out and not have a whole lot of expectations. And I think I'm going to do more of this. I've always really enjoyed going live and just hanging out. And just because if I'm not doing anything excited with the sewing, we could talk about anything. And I realized that this channel started life as Peggy's Ponderings. I think those videos are all still up. And we would just talk about interesting, weird topics, right? Yeah, Autumn Rose, I'm so excited this year. I don't know why, but I'm going with it. Happy New Year, everyone. Yeah, this just seems like the year, right? This seems like the fuck it year. Fuck it. I'm just gonna do what I like. I'm gonna do what I want. I'm gonna just do the thing. Anyway, so we were doing Peggy's Ponderings initially on this channel just for fun, and that was fine. And we realized we were just too busy to do it right. Nothing wrong with that. because we were like planning content, not planning. Well, like we would be collecting the links, sorting, doing a little bit of research. Nothing wrong with that. We just didn't have time for it, right? And we still don't. But I have the time. I have the time to pop on a live and babble and shoot the shit and do whatever while I just get some basic work done. And that's all I'm doing right now. That's all I'm doing right now is some basic work. I've got my I'm doing some drawstring bags today. There's a bit of news on that. I'll tell you in a second, but well, I'm back. That was weird. We got some. We don't have bad. Yeah. See, I've got the. I do this in steps, right? I get everything done. You guys have seen the tutorial, so I get everything basted in giant piles, and then I spend a couple hours going through and just trimming it all, because you can trim with you gotta trim off all the excess, right? You gotta get all that excess trimmed off. You can do it with scissors, absolutely, but if you're doing a whole bunch all at once, you can get yourself sorted and agonized. Ends with eyes. You can get yourself sorted and organized, and then just sit down, relax, and just do a rotary cutter and get rotary cutters, cleaner lines. It's easier on my hands. Check it out. That is from doing John's quilt. Did you guys? I know I showed some stuff. I didn't show as much as I wanted to. The timing just did not work out to grab the camera, so I ended up not grabbing the camera. This is just this because John's quilt was multicolored strips, but the front and everything else, there was some random strips throughout, and then everything else on the front was black, everything on the back was black. So by the time I got it all basted, here's the other glove. This is the glove. So that's the glove. This glove, I've only had this for like 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I've been doing a lot of sewing. There's the clean side of the other glove. So yeah, I gotta sort that. Well, not I gotta sort that out. It's good quality fabric, but you're dragging your hand over it incessantly, right? If you put on a white glove and then run your hand through your own laundry for 6 to 8 hours, you'll have a similar effect, right? Anyway, so I thought that we would just chat about anything and everything, ramble all over the place with topics. If you guys have a topic, we can talk about it. If I have a topic, we can talk about it, and we can just be social people. And I know some people like to listen in while they're doing their own stuff. So there's like no obligation for everybody to be, the leader of the chat. But yeah, I just thought we'd do that. I just thought we would do that and just take, I don't know if I want to say take away the expectations. That doesn't sound fair either. But like I said, I want to do a video like once a week or whatever. And that was okay. Still okay. I'm still going to do videos and tutorials and stuff like that. But just kind of realized I'm doing this mostly for the social element. So what did I do here? That's all screwed up. I'm doing this mostly for the social element. So why shouldn't I just get social? And anyway, here I am. So one thing I do have coming up, and I might do it on a live. I might do it on a live so I can answer questions as I go. There is a divided drawstring bag that I make. I don't even have one on hand. It's been such a long time since I've made one, where it's a regular drawstring bag, but the inside has a panel that comes up and divides it into 2 sections. And I want to do a tutorial on that because I'm too busy. It's just me now. I don't have a helper. It's pretty simple to do them. I want to do a tutorial on how to do that. And the way that's going to work is probably going to do it live so I can answer questions as I go. I'm going to show you guys how I do a divided drawstring bag. I know there's been people that have been asking about it. And I will say I've got 4 sizes. I got 4 sizes of drawstring. I've got 4 sizes of regular bag. Then I've got the pocket pouches I've got the 2 pocket pouch, the 2 pocket, the 1 pocket. Those are the long ones that you can also that fold out to be a reading cloth. Then I've got regular reading cloths, and then I'm out of time to do anything. So anyway, so what do you guys want to talk about today? Oh wow! I just noticed your full comment now, Terry Lynn. That has got to be scary as fuck. Because I know that I don't know much about organ transplants, but I do know that when you've had one, life gets really serious really fast after that for any bug. But anyway, I am just going to chill and get my stuff done. So what I'm doing right now, this is pretty simple. I'm just trimming these, but I'm separating them because this is all darker fabrics. I'm going to be top stitching all of these in black, and then everything else that's going to be top stitched in a different color is going down into a different pile. But anyway, yeah, New Year's for us was New Year's for us. Lisa was in bed before midnight. She had work today. They agreed. They positively and proactively agreed that they would take take the Friday as their stat holiday, come in today to work so that everybody could get the full week off and not have to use up too much of their vacation time. So Lisa's at work today. But partying around here, though, is expensive. It's a process. It's like there's not really anywhere you can go that's not going to cost you like $50, $60 just to walk in the door. And they're so young now. How are you young kids? That's okay. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, I just realized, like I said, the Peggy's Ponderings was a ton of fun. And I won't be going back to doing it that way because then I'm not working, then I'm not making any money. But marry me to Aurora Star C. Hi there. We're just hanging out, low key, chilling, relaxing, not trying too hard. I'm just getting some stuff done. We're just chatting. I'm just babbling about where I'm taking the channel. I'm still going to do tutorials. I'm still going to do all that stuff, but I'm also going to do more lives, more wandering off topic. And apparently Lisa was, I don't know what this is about. Apparently it's now turning into a thing to just hang out online and everybody does their stuff. So I don't know how that's going to go, but when I was doing Peggy's Ponderings, we would talk about Peggy's Ponderings was all about the paranormal and shit like that. So yeah, me and Lisa had a really mellow New Year. She's working today because they rearranged they voluntarily rearranged the vacation so that everybody could have the entire Christmas week off without having to like go in for a day like some people do. Anyway, so I'm thinking that it would be fun to talk about all the weird and wacko topics. You know, like when I was doing the partners, we talked about ghosts, we talked about Bigfoot, we talked about Hollow Earth, we talked about all kinds of stuff. And because I love talking about paranormal stuff. And I think that would be fun if we started doing that, because just because I'm sewing doesn't mean I can't talk about something else at the same time. Today is just a hangout. We have no agenda. We have absolutely no agenda. If you have a topic you would love to discuss, throw it up there. Just hang out and don't do anything. Hang out and chat with me, do whatever. But I'm just going to hang out for an hour or so, and then we'll do what we're going to do. But yeah, this is fun. This is fun. But yeah, back to Baldur's Gate. It's actually it's slow paced, but I like it. Somebody else has already said they like that. They played the game. Yeah. Oh yeah, we have World of Warcraft. Suzanne, my ex played that game a lot. I was a total World of Warcraft nerd. We have both. Imagine if World of Warcraft has been slowed down, and it's turned and the fight scenes are turn based instead of button mashing. Because World of Warcraft, you can really get into strategy and all kinds of stuff in that too. So I'm liking it. Maybe it's a nice, it's a refreshing. If I could say the word refreshing, it's a refreshing change of pace. Chinese New Year starts on February 10th, the year of the wood dragon. I'm Year of the Dragon. I didn't know it was a wood dragon. Is it? Yeah, wood dragon. Dragon is there's only one dragon in the Chinese zodiac, right? Or wrong, or am I missing something? My year is Year of the Dragon. Maybe that's why I'm having a fuck it year, because it's like It's going to be my year anyway. It's my dragon year. But yeah. I just have to, how much of this do I don't have as much as it looks like. You know what it is? Because I slow down when I talk. When I talk, I slow down, but at least I'm still getting stuff done. I gotta change this blade too. I've got two cameras. There are elements as well. Depends on the hour of birth, which element you are. Hi, Moira. Wood, metal, earth, fire, and water. Depends on the hour of birth. Well, I can give you my birthday, and you guys can tell me who wants to. December 14th, 1964, and I was born around 3 a.m. So very, very, very early in the day. I have no idea. I know I know I was born in the year of the dragon. I think astrology is fascinating, but it never sticks. I don't know. Myra Ho is a water ox. I'm a wood dragon. Cool. I just know that I'm ornery. Now I gotta look that up and see what it means. So it's a wood. So next year is the year of the wood dragon, and I'm a wood dragon. All right. Ha! I'm awesome. It's the I'm awesome year. I know I'm making fun, but that's okay. I've always thought it was cool that I was born the year of the dragon. So, hi, Marion. I am good. How are you? You know what? I did the thing. I didn't even ask anybody else how they're doing, or did I? Did I or didn't I? I get distracted. This is what going live is all about. It's like keeping up with my squirrely self. But yeah, we're just hanging out. I'm just getting some work done, doing something off, doing some basic stuff. Doing some basic stuff with nothing. See, this is the problem. I get doing basic stuff with nothing to show, and then I feel like I can't go live. Oh, I can't do this and I can't do that. I've got nothing to show. And then suddenly I haven't done a video on this channel for like almost a month because I was busy with other projects. Oh no, I think I did one. I'm busy with other projects, didn't have a lot to show. Oh, my ex-husband and my son are dragons. Oh, multitasking, yeah. I kind of like multitasking to a certain degree. It makes the day go faster. But no, I've with Christmas and whatnot coming up, I didn't do a lot. We've been getting some good crow cams. Crows were out there today. I was actually thinking that if I do this right and do the double camera thing properly, I could probably have a crow cam set up over there and then just come on live chatting over here, which would be fun. But I wouldn't have to do as much as I think I do. I just have to do it. But yeah, just kind of chit-chatting, and I'd love some feedback as to kind of stuff. If I'm going to do stuff that's not just sewing or talk about topics while I'm sewing, like because today we're talking about that it's the year of the dragon starting. What did you say? What did you say? Was it Myra? No, Aurora. It's February 10th. Chinese New Year starts February 10th and moves into the year of the wood dragon. And it turns out that I am a wood dragon. Aurora is a wood rooster. So how does that work? So the time of day determines your element, and then the year determines your the time of day you were born. Am I understanding it? The time of day that you were born determines your element, and the year that you were born determines your whether you're dragon, rooster, pig, dog. God, what are they all? I don't even. I'm surprised I remember that many. I love the topic of astrology, but I know nothing about it. I've got lots of people though. Lots of people that I know that know a lot about it. Not me. It does not stick. I don't know why. I'm a Sagittarius born in the year of the dragon. That's all I know. The last number of the year dictates the element that you are. Okay. So because the last number, I was born in 1964, 4 is associated with wood. Yeah, I'm the same element and animal in this. Okay, I'm the same element, I'm the same animal, and I'm 50. I just turned 59, so I'll be turning 60 next year. That's got to be related though. The way math works. But so the last number of the year dictates your element. What element is 7? Myra says, so I'm 1973. Am I a water ox then? Aurora, don't go away. We need you. Don't forget, everything lags. Everything lags. By the way, one of my purposes is obviously if I'm distractible and not entertaining, then obviously distract each other. Talk to each other. I mean, remember back in the days when we had those chat rooms? Yeah, treat this. Oops, that one's black. That one's got a lot of black in it. So that's going up there. 7 is fire. Ooh, fiery. 3 is water. 7 is fire. Poor Aurora. You came in to say hi and now you're on the spot. Yeah, there you go. We'll treat these. Whenever I come on for a live, we'll treat it like a chat room. Keep each other entertained. Keep me entertained. I'll entertain you. It'll go back and forth. But yeah. But I am going to be showing how to do a divided drawstring bag. They're easy. It's kind of a, Lisa calls it origami. It's just a special fold to a longer piece of broadcloth. Anybody who's seen or gotten a divided drawstring bag knows exactly what I'm talking. 6 is also fire. So there's what? Okay, so it's just one. It's 0 to 9. Oh, go ahead and jump, Celine. I put poor Aurora on the spot 10 minutes ago, asking what thing is what. And Aurora, obviously, if you're having a problem, speak up, and I will stop harassing you. I usually pick one person, though. We know that. We know how that works. But anyway. So yeah, any topic. We'll kind of treat these as anything goes chats. And sometimes I'll have something to show you that's easier to show live. Obviously, if you have any questions or anything that you want to see, if I'm doing something, I've got a second camera. Oh, thanks, Aurora. Isn't Aurora nice? I've got a second camera, so that's what I was messing around with that a few minutes ago. If anybody hasn't seen it yet, I've got the second camera, so I can, show what I'm doing. And then. Wait a second, that's not right. That's right. There we go. And then we just change directions here. So I've got a second camera for if anybody wants or needs to see something or is just enjoying. If you guys are enjoying watching the hands work versus watching the face talk, I'm happy to switch the cameras. But no, I think we're just gonna. I think when you do your live readings, they were spot on. I am still deciding. I am not sure whether I'm going to keep that channel. I'm going to keep doing the readings. We've got 3 possibilities in mind. One, I started off doing channel takeovers on Lisa's channel. Okay. So when I would do a channel takeover, I would do readings over there, which was great. And everybody had a great time. But that's my wife's channel, right? And that can get kind of, I don't know if diluting is the right word. But Lisa's channel is already pretty active and it can make her channel overactive and blah, 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 blah. So that's why I started the other channel. But I've already got this channel. So I've already got this channel. Plus we're doing the podcast. So keeping up with the extra channel. It was a fun challenge. It was an absolutely fun challenge to see if I could do it. Can't do it. Now I can do live. I can go over there and keep the tarot separate. I'm not going to do any more the pre-recorded pick a card. I might do the odd one, but I don't think I'm going to worry about that. I think that what I'll do is if I'm going to do tarot readings on that channel. I'm probably going to do the same as here, mostly just go live. So with that in mind, should I keep it separate? I did the Etsy channel, and I knew that one was not going to last. I knew the Etsy channel was the Etsy rants. I knew that one wasn't going to last for long because after it doesn't take you long to exhaust all your topics, right? So that one's just now parked as an ongoing resource, and I might or might not put stuff in it as I find as stuff catches my attention. Anyway, I'm babbling and going in circles here. So, do I start doing readings on this channel? I mean, I could just add Peggy Sews and stuff and get on with my day and not worry about which channel stuff is showing up on. If I'm only doing lives, I'm honestly asking feedback. I'm honestly looking for feedback here. If I'm focusing mainly on going live, then it doesn't matter which channel I'm going live on. I can keep the tarot stuff separate to its own channel. So I can go back to doing channel takeovers on Lisa's channel, which I will tell you they get. Now it's fun for me, but it's not necessarily fun for you guys. They get really busy, and I only have a certain amount of time to do a certain number of readings. It's less busy, and you're more likely to get a reading if I do it here or continue using the tarot channel. I just haven't decided whether I want to. I haven't decided whether I want to combine everything into this channel. Like I said, the Etsy stuff is going to stay separate. That's just a business resource. If you've seen the channel, it's really just talk. I mean, I'm happy to talk about what it's like. Yeah, Peggy sews and reads. So do I combine them into one channel? I don't know. I think most of you guys right now have found me through tarot anyway, so it won't matter. Yeah, see, Myra's, separate channel tarot. Yeah, if I keep it separate, then whenever you see me on that channel, you'll know what it's for. And you can still come and hang out, still come and chat. I mean, I'm always going to enjoy the company, but then you know exactly what's happening, because I think on this channel, going forward, it's probably going to be a little less structured. Like I said, if I'm just hanging out, getting some stuff done, and suddenly we're talking about ghosts or UFOs or the next holiday coming up, we can be a lot more. But anyway, I am going to start doing live readings on that channel. We had to sort out some camera stuff because Peggy is just currently, I've gotten the basting step done on a whole bunch of drawstring bags. So I am just doing them. I'm just doing these. I'm just getting them trimmed. I mark then trim. I find that for me personally, that if I cut everything to size first and then sew it together, you still have to come back and trim anyway. And the way that I cut my fabric, there's always a little bit of waste. So it's like trim it off after, and then I have nice, clean, perfect lines. That's my preference, but it's obviously up to you. Anyway, I'm still planning things. I don't know if it would be easier to have one channel, because I think it would get frustrating. Here's my thought. My personal thought is 2 channels. I just haven't made a final decision. My personal thought is keep the tarot channel tarot and keep the sewing channel. The sewing channel is going to be sewing and whatever else we feel like talking about, because I don't always have a project in mind. I don't always have time for a project. And if I wait for a project, which is what I've been making the mistake of doing, if I wait for a project or a reason, I just don't put anything up here. And it's like, wait, I like live streaming. Anyway, I'm babbling. I think that if I'm, that's okay, Aurora. You can scroll up, see what you missed. I think, what was I saying? I think if I keep them separate, then whenever I do go on for tarot readings, we can still chat, relax, hang out, and that's fine. But at least we know that there's a topic. And the topic is, do you want a tarot reading? I'll do a tarot reading, right? I think that it'll be a lot. I think it would get frustrating for me and for you guys if I'm doing this channel. Hey, honey, if I'm doing sewing channel, and it's not rude to ask, oh, hey, are you doing readings today? Right? So if I'm doing readings on this channel, people are going to not be sure whether or not I'm doing readings. They're going to come in, they're going to ask, and I think it'll get frustrating for me and for any of you guys that are watching. That's what I'm thinking. But not worry so much. It was fun doing the week ahead, day ahead. It was fun doing the card pulls, but I think I'm going to focus on not being too worried. As long as you can hear me, I've done it right. That's all we're worried about. So I do think I should keep them separate. But I also think that Lisa's got her own channel that I sometimes show up on. We have the podcast channel. We have the podcast channel that we're working on. We have this channel. I have my Etsy Ranch channel. That's 5 channels. Is that too much of Peggy? But I don't think I care one way or the other, to be perfectly honest. But I think I should keep them separate. I know that it gets frustrating for everybody if you're not sure what's going on, and if you're coming in for a reading, which I don't mind. There's people that just don't have. There's people that like to watch, but they don't have a lot of time to make the time to interact. I don't want somebody making the time to interact because they've been watching for a while and would like to get a reading, and then they come in and. Yeah, I think I'll end up keeping it separate. I think Lisa suggested that I keep it separate. Thanks, Marion. So I think I'm gonna keep it separate. That way, whenever I show up on the tarot channel, you know that, like I said, we're still gonna chit chat, but it's mostly about giving readings. And that one can stay on theme, and this channel can turn into the shit show. Yeah, honey, do you know your Chinese element? 77. We can look that up because I think you already gave us 7. 7. I'm scrolling up. I'm scrolling up as fast as my little fingers can roll. 6 and 7 are Earth. Wait. Fire is years ending in 6 and 7. So Lisa is fire. She was born in 77. Wow, did I get it to you before? Yeah, fire. Oh, you knew the elements? I didn't. I had no idea. Anyway. But yeah. It's an overthink moment. It's definitely me, whether or not keeping with how many channels to keep. Like I said, okay, I'm gonna back up now. This is the shit show channel where if I change my mind and change midstream and suddenly go off on a tangent, that's just what we're gonna do. The Etsy channels, I don't want to say it's done, but I knew that was going to be limited. You can only talk about so many. I don't want to make a business channel where I talk about the same thing from 37 different nuances. I wanted to get some Etsy type stuff out there as a helpful resource for people who may need a starting point. The Etsy Ranch videos that I did are kind of a starting point. No 2 businesses are the same, so I gave information that I hope was a starting point for people to do their own research so that they could figure out the nuances of their own stuff. And you can't really add to that, right? So that channel's pretty much check in once in a while, and unless some amazingly interesting topic drops into my lap, I'm probably not going to be adding much to it. Lisa's channel is obviously Lisa's channel, so I don't have anything to do with that. The podcast, yeah, I think I will. I don't know. I keep saying that. You know what I got to do is I got to do some readings on that channel, see how it goes. I think the biggest thing is that black or blue. That's blue. So, oops, that goes up there. I'm sorting by color because I have a large percentage of what I'm doing right now is going to be done in black because it's so dark. But no, I know I'm part of your channel too. No, they were just asking we kind of drifted onto the topic of whether or not I'm going to keep the tarot channel separate and do readings, do live readings over there, or whether I'm going to blend it into this channel. I think it would be a lot less frustrating if I keep it separate. But we'll see. Lisa just did on Lisa's channel. If you want to go over to Lisa's channel, she just did a year ahead. Yeah. Oh, just a second. Wait till I flip this inside right. This is the last one, and now I can start flipping fabric. This one here is metallic. This is what it looks like when it's on the inside. I'll get it flipped in a second, then you can see. These are all inside out right now because when you baste your fabric, you baste it pretty sides together, then you flip it. By the way, in case anybody there's this thing called a turn tab. Well, I don't know if you've seen this. There's a thing called a turn tab where you're trimming, right? And then where the opening is, you come out a little bit so that when you flip your fabric, it's not gonna be teeny tiny and hard to fiddle with. Instead of doing a turn tab at the one end, I trimmed to 1/4 inch all the way around, right? On the side with the opening, I trimmed to 3/8 of an inch because this is a small enough piece. This is a small enough piece that leaving an actual turn tab you might be able to feel it. So I just make this end, the opening end where the opening is a little bit wider, and I get the same effect while keeping a nice, straight, smooth line. But anyway, I'm going to flip this one. I'm just about done it now. Scissors can be faster, but I wear the gloves for sticky because without the gloves, without the gloves, I have to use too much hand pressure. Sheep is not one of the animals. Wait a second. I thought it was. What animal am I thinking of then? Is there like a goat? Now I'm like, what animals are there? Snake, rat, ox, rooster. It's not chicken, it's rooster. Dragon, obviously. Okay, I'm gonna flip these. Then again, back when I first heard about the Chinese zodiac, before the internet, they could have told me anything and I'd believe it. So rat, ox, tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake, horse, ram. Oh, the ram. Yeah, so not a sheep, a ram. Monkey, rooster, dog, and pig. Yeah, a lot of people would call it a lot of people would just call a ram a sheep. So that's for that. Yeah. Okay. So this one is. Oh, I'm running up that camera. It's got a little sparkly metallic. Oh, have fun, honey. This has got a little, just enough sparkly metallic. Now this one here is gorgeous, but it will. There's no but. This one here is gorgeous, but sometimes these little flakes come off. So if you are terrified of glitter in your house, oh, what did I do? We are replacing this camera, by the way. If you're terrified of glitter in your house, this is not the bag to get. Oh, sheep goat for 1967. Yeah, Aurora's saying ram, so that's probably where the confusion is, because I don't want to make any assumptions. I've seen lists made by Western people, and sometimes they use not quite the right term. Wikipedia. Oh, you said ram though. Now I'm confused. I'm always confused. Like I said, I don't know anything about any of this stuff. We are replacing this camera. This camera here is getting replaced. It's a good camera, and I'm probably going to still use it for tarot, but when you're moving around, it doesn't like to focus properly. Oh, no goat. I don't know. You know what? I need to stay out of it. I need to stay out of it, Aurora, because I will just get myself and everybody else confused. So this is pretty simple. I'm going to get a few done. So basically, what I'm doing now is I'm taking that giant, this all clips, okay? These are standard bags. These are standard bags that I'm doing. See, this is my problem. These are standard bags that I'm doing. And if I can get my shit together, they're going up this Thursday. Oh, ram is the correct. Yeah, ram is the correct animal. Yeah. Yeah, but I think I will have Moira's back and say that in Western lists you'll see sometimes it referred to as a sheep or a goat, because whoever made the list didn't quite understand what they were repeating. So for starters, I start my thing here. I take my ruler press it down a little bit because you want to finger press, and I don't want to, my hands don't like that. Whatever you need to do to make 1.5 inches. Get that in there. Oops, get that in there properly. Flip it around. Now, this is what we're doing today. Pardon me, my nose, I've got a pimple right there. My nose has been itchy for days now. I just turned 59 years old a couple of weeks ago, and I'm still getting acne. I am not happy about that. Apparently, it's more common than people think. Okay, so now what I'm doing, let me just move some stuff. All right, nothing horrible is going on. This is what I do because I kind of review. Can I? There's enough similarity. What happened there? Oh, I moved my mouse. Silly thing. I've got this pop-up. If I hover my pop-up if I hover my mouse in the wrong spot, this pop-up comes up and covers everything. So what I'm going to do is pick a design. Pick a design. Get that ready. Let's get over here. I'm gonna pick a design and get that ready. I'm gonna put this on. This is a lovely thing. Is this folded up? Because if you start a piece of fabric, I don't know if you can tell from there where you. I don't know if you can tell, and that camera's not going to let me. I already know that camera's not going to let me bring it in close enough. The foot here is now pointed up, and it's going to be hard to get started, which could screw up the first corner of this, right? Screw up the first corner of the first bag. So I'm going to get over here. This is important. This is vitally important stuff. Okay. Some people just position this behind the needle. I like to sew it on to the needle. I like to sew it on for the first 2 or 3 stitches. So we're back over here for a minute. Back over here. I do this all the time. I just don't mind. I don't mind repeating it. So we're back over here, and I am going to, from my angle, I can see the threads sticking out against the black thread sticking out against the green of the cutting mat here. This is easier for me. Too much of this makes my wrist sore. So it's easier for me to grab the tweezers. Okay. I don't cut the threads off. I tuck them in, because if you cut the threads off, the little teeny tiny ends can still stick out. And I try to avoid that. I still do my little trick because I'm not finger pressing. This is just hand staver techniques, by the way. That's why I'm showing you again. Bring that up there. So this is the open end, right? The open end you don't want to screw around with. I don't want to throw it in a pile. This here is the closed end. This end is completely closed. That end can sit, okay? Now I'm going to take it. I'm going to come over here. This is why I organize my fabric by color. So I'm going to do that. And I organize it by style. Now what's going to happen is as I go through this pile, because I've got about, what have I got here? I've got about 40 bags here to do. So if I've picked a design, and once I hit a design, if I hit a bag that's going to look bad with that design on it, I will skip that bag, put it to the bottom. Oh, Marian says, would it have been changed because Aries is a ram in Western astrology? It seems odd. You know what? I will say it's really interesting how all kinds of astrology systems go back thousands and thousands of years and have so many similarities. And it's across all cultures. Okay, so now I'm just top stitching this. I'm top stitching this end. So this here, if I had needed to grab something and help this through, then I could have grabbed that. The reason why I sew this down is because now it's connected, and I can also use it as a guide. As a guide to shift things around if things had not gone the way I wanted them to in the first few stitches. Anyway, this is just some whatever. Now, if you are not confident or don't have enough practice, you can swing back. If you're not confident or don't have enough practice, you can measure this and then oh yeah, Aurora just looked, it's a translation problem. Yeah, see, that's what I was trying to say. I just wasn't wording it right. I've heard that before. I've heard something similar before that happens. Anyway, if you are not confident that this is going to hold the way that you want it to, obviously you can fold these over, iron them, and then clip them. I've made about 5,000 of these by now. You guys are generous, by the way. Okay, and stop. What is the best strand cord to use for the bag? If I find some things are hard to, I find some things are hard to tie or open, paracord. I'll show you guys a secret. I'll show you guys the secret. Be right back. La 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 la. This is how I buy my paracord. We buy it by the spool. Like I said, I've made 5,000 of these bags. Okay, so paracord. Let's just get a chunk off. I'm going to show you guys this because I buy it by the giant spool and can afford to waste a little bit. Okay, let's put that over there. We're going to ignore the mess. Okay. So paracord, you tie your paracord, and unless you're using very, very specific paracord type knots, it might not necessarily hold the way that you want it to, right? So what you do is you take your paracord. This is what I've been doing for years now. You take your paracord, you see that piece there? Pull it out. Pull it out. And now you've got the same benefits of paracord in a sturdy piece. Which camera am I better at? Now you've got the same benefits of the paracord, but it will accept a simple knot, which all I do is this. Basically, I should have showed you first, but basically once everything's done, I just make a single loop. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you this part very well because the camera doesn't want to focus. Make a single loop and then just tuck it through. Tighten it down and it holds. And of course we will combine, pull them really hard. So that is the best string. This is what we have found is the best string to use because you've got all the sturdiness and strength of paracord. But let me just get another piece. I'll show you. I will show you. I gotta get a. Don't worry, I've got a couple projects to do. I will say, yeah. See, I just chewed up that end. This one. That's the other end that I had cut with the bigger scissors. It's really important that you have a pair of nice chunky scissors. Okay, regular piece of paracord. This is what we did, and you can get paracord. You can get paracord at like Walmart in smaller bundles. But what we found is we go like this. We get it through. Come on, I'm just awkward about this because of the angle that I'm sitting. You get it through. You pull it. But now it's big. Okay, what are we doing here? Okay, we'll get this one back again. My grandmother loved to sew, knit, crochet, embroider, everything. I told her multiple times she should have been on Project Runway. So this is the difference in the knots. I don't know if you got. Let me get my hand up there. So that's core. That's what the core out. That's what the core in. But this one here, any knot can loosen and undo itself. So that does happen. This one here, though, because it's just a simple loop, it's going to eventually just work its way loose. They just work their way loose. So we found that paracord is, but these two both have the same tensile strength. So it's a really strong, sturdy cord. It's not going anywhere, but you just Sometimes what you have to do is you have to go part way. See how it's bunching up there? I don't know if I can make it do it again. Watch this section here. It kind of bunches up. And sometimes if you're doing a long enough piece, it can just get really hard to pull. So once it bunches up, stop, give it a little pinch, loosen it, just run your finger down, continue. So that is the number one thing that I will recommend. And that paracord comes in, you can get various types and styles and sizes of paracord and colors. You can get all kinds of colors of paracord. This is what I recommend as the best because it's not going to come out. But I focus everything I do on sturdiness. I mean, I'm trying to make a bag that's going to last for 10 years. So if you're looking, generally speaking, I end up tossing it. I say I've always got a stash of it. But and I try to use it. I try to use it for other projects when I can. Anybody who ever anybody who says, "Oh, I need some light cord," it's like, here you go, and I just can them buckets of it. But unfortunately, when the core is in it, it does not. Wait a second. Oh yeah, that's going over there. That's going in that stash. That part of the stash. It's one of those necessary evils because we haven't found anything that we like other than this. There was a couple of other things that we found, but they were so light that the cords were snapping. But like I said, the paracord's really tight, and also the silver inside here, this stuff here. Of course, it's 2 weeks too late, but this stuff here goes great on ornaments to hang up ornaments, and this can be it's not going to show it. Yeah, this can be a regular tie all by itself. We used to offer it. We used to ask people if they way back, and nobody really wanted it. But it's what that stuff is. It's a starter cord. It's a starter cord that the paracord is woven around. So it does nothing of benefit for the cord itself. But yeah, whenever I have projects coming up like Christmas tags and stuff like that, or hanging ornaments, we took the I don't know if we've done it with the ones that we've got this year, but we used to take those crappy little metal hooks and replace it with that stuff. It's got a ton of uses. I'm going through so much of it that I can't always find a good use for it. But if you're just doing your own bags and have a small stash of that kind of cord, you'll find uses for it. Trust me. It's great for, as little ties for little things. But anyway. Ooh, we have Chinese birthstones now. Aurora, we are just going to pump you for information all day long. I can't remember what my birthstone is. I have no idea. Either Western or Eastern. Lisa would probably know, but she's gone now. She went away. She has a day job. Okay. So I did the end that's already been closed. That just flies off into the wilderness there. I moved all my stuff around. Oh, you told Lisa earlier. Yeah, I don't know if Lisa would know my birthstone. For Western, I just don't know. Are Western and Eastern the same, or do they have different stones? Anyway, so basically, I tuck it in because the stitching will get it, and when it's tucked in, it doesn't leave a thing. I've already said that. What's going on? Did I move something? Okay, just a second. Oh, let me just click the right one. Is that it? Or is that it? I don't know. Dragon Birthstone is amethyst and citrine. Oh, that's cool. I'm not sure if I came back to the... Well, I'm going to come over onto that one. Okay, this basically what happened was StreamYard will allow you. What month I was born in December 14th, 1964. Basically, StreamYard has the ability to bring multiple cameras on, right? Except for, I don't know what changed, but suddenly they wanted to charge us $500 a year for that. And it's like, So anyways, now we're back over here again. This is already sewn down, right? So instead of cutting everything up and adding this back to the front, this now becomes the leader. This turquoise. Oh yeah, that's my Western one, isn't it? So turquoise, amethyst, and citrine are those. So honestly, I suppose if you combine enough cultures, you're going to find that everything is Uber stone. But that's just a flippant observation. So this one became the leader for this one. And I normally move along at a bit of a faster clip, right? So this isn't as slow as my constant talking is making it seem. And stop. Do the next one. Now, what I'm going to do is I'll show you how this looks. I'll do the next two because I'm not leaving yet. Love both emerald and rose quartz, and also off on Google again. And it does seem like some confusion about the goat due to translation issues, but both ram and goat are stubborn. That's probably where that comes from right there. The stubbornness. Now so now that's everybody's job now is to deep dive into their zodiac, into their Western zodiac and then their Eastern zodiac. Where are the similarities? Where are the differences? I just love telling people what to do, though, so don't listen to me. Anyway, so what I do is I basically I keep going until either this is empty or I've ended I end a run when I have a run. I don't know what to call it. I kind of think of it as a little run, right? But I end the run when I have nothing else that will go in with that same design, stitch design, and the same. It has to use the same color and obviously the same design, because if I change designs, if I all of a sudden decide that I want a zigzag or something, right? It's like, okay, this 4 is going to have this design, the next 4 is going to have a zigzag, because when I turn them around, I'm going to do these all at once. My camera just stuttered from my end. So we have a thing that happens around here. If the ground gets too wet, or we start getting a little bit of internet issues, not in a serious way, but we've had like 3 days of rain. December birthstone is turquoise, but Sagittarius birthstone is citrine. So you have citrine twice. Nice. I don't know if that's good or bad. I need to fix my list. Yeah, my mom was amazing at needle arts, which is probably why I can barely sew a button. My mother could sew, but she never taught us. If Lisa is at her day job, does that mean that you guys don't get the 1st as a holiday? In Scotland, we do get the 1st as a holiday. Yeah, okay, so let me just finish reading this, though. In Scotland, we get the 1st and 2nd. Maybe they assume we need 2 days to get over the hangover. Oh, probably. I've heard things about you Scotsmen. They did have the 1st. The 1st is a statutory holiday here, but they discussed it. Basically, Christmas Day is a statutory holiday. New Year's Day is a stat holiday. Any other time off that you want during the Christmas season around here, you have to use up your personal vacation time. So what they agreed on was that they were going to work today as a normal day and get paid normally, so that they could all take the entire week of Christmas off. Yeah, they decided to take the entire week of Christmas off, because with Christmas being Monday. So they all collectively agreed to do that, so that they would have to use up as little as possible of their personal vacation time. And it's a small bit. It's a small business. It's a small shop. So, and it's pretty common around here for smaller businesses to do that. So yeah. So today is a holiday. One of her coworkers is off today because they didn't want to come in. One of her coworkers was off because she still took the week off last week, but also didn't want to come in. So she's like, no, I'm just doing it this way. I'll take an extra vacation day. But yeah, so Lisa's back to work today, but it is by choice. We used to get in Ontario, we used to get Boxing Day off, Christmas Day and Boxing Day, and then New Year's Day. I don't know if they still get that in Ontario or not, but we don't get Boxing Day here, which is sad. But I guess it doesn't matter to me anymore anyway. Oh, thankfully for me, my birth month and Aquarius birthstones are the same. Yeah, I think that it's funny. I think that stuff is so fascinating, and yet don't ask me to have a single coherent thought about it. Tell me all about it. I'm like, ooh, this is awesome. This is amazing. This is great. But just, yeah. But you know what? We're all good at something. We're all bad at something. I can like something and not be good at it. I like astronomy and astrology and stuff like that, and I suck at it. Yeah, so I'm going to do this last one. I'm going to do this last one up. So what other, I know that almost all historical societies, like the Greeks, the Romans, they all had a very strong, it's funny, they all had a very strong association / belief in astronomy and astrology. Yeah, don't know a damn thing about it. It's fine. Yeah, I tried. Yeah, Mary says, I see. I tried so hard to be strict with myself to take some proper time off. I will tell you right now, if we hadn't been playing Baldur's Gate, I probably would have been working for most of the week. That I told myself I was going to get a quilt done. I got the top cut, the bottom cut. I still haven't cut the batting. We had a couple of decisions to make along the way, though, so Lisa needed time to think about that. We are doing Lisa's we're doing Lisa's Alice in Wonderland quilt. That's coming up shortly. And I will try to get some proper filming done on that, but I don't know how easy that's going to be, because once you get a quilt up on this table, you are a Capricorn. I know that. Oh, your birthday is 26th of this month. Aries? Nope. I'm at a complete loss. Oh, no, wait. Didn't you say... Thankfully, my birth month and Aquarius birthstones are the same. Oh, so you're Aquarius. Isn't that... Yeah, so you're an Aquarius. So doesn't that mean your birthstone is like literally aquamarine? Isn't that to do with the color? Or rather, why it was named that way? Did I get one thing right? But yeah, so I didn't get shit done. But we were playing Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate. It was a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. See, well, there's my only guess is aquamarine, because it's Aquarius, because aquamarine, aqua, blue, marine, water, has a water association for a lot of people just because of its name. No idea. Not a single idea what that could be. Well, now you got to tell me. Aquamarine is March. Interesting. Yeah, there's no way I'm going to be able to guess yours. None whatsoever. Okay, this is the last one here. Okay, take that off as I go. I know there's not very many of you that are making multiple bags at the same time, but I'm showing you this anyway because I think it's cool. Garnet. I mean, you're a garnet. Cool. We used to vacation up in an area where natural garnets were like as common as sand, but they were low quality. So it was cute to collect a rock that had natural garnet sitting in it. So now I've got this. I've got this little guy. I think I'm going to switch the view. I'll switch the view. Let's see what I do with that. Is that how it works? Yeah. So now I've got that. right? That's what I've got right now. And I'm going to leave it that way. I'm going to switch the view back. Aren't I being slick? Look at that. Okay. Aquamarine, Pisces, the fish. See, I was right about the water, wrong about the stone. Okay. So now we're just going to take this whole thing and we're going to flip it around. Now, normally I could have up to 20 on this at the same time. Like I said, I've got a big giant stack over here. And normally this I used a loopy loop on this, and I would probably use the loopy loop on this one as well. I just want to show you guys, and then I'll get back to my regularly scheduled work. So now I'm going to trim this off on this end. Where'd it go? Where did it go? There's a small one. Here, I'm a stitch ripper. I have been finding that if you have two things that are sewed really, where's my cameras? If you have two things that are sewed really close together, it's easier to separate them with a stitch ripper than a pair of scissors, because a stitch ripper you just use very, very light pressure. Oh, there's my stitch ripper over there. Every time you get a sewing machine, these little guys, they're easy to get. They're everywhere. So I've got like 5 of them sitting around. So then you take that off, you start it anew on this end here. Doop, doop, doop. And then you just line all this up and go. The second side is easier because there's no hole here. So you don't have, I go a lot slower on this section because you want to watch that hole. You want to watch wherever the hole is as you go over it. You want to make sure you're sewing it down properly. Right? Get over there. I'm still going to stop before I put that in. Stop before you put that in. If you try and be all slick and do them at the same time, you could end up accidentally overlapping them and sewing them together. Don't ask me how I know. Just a coincidence how I know. Yeah, just a lucky guess. So has anybody done year ahead readings for themselves yet? Lisa has one up on her channel. I might do a year ahead. I like to do a year ahead reading for myself. I try not to read too much into it. Just, I know I do good readings and that life is good, but sometimes because I guess not newer, I don't know. I like to use it as a guideline. I don't necessarily get a lot out of trying to take it too seriously, but that's just me personally. So everybody's mileage varies, right? I do much better doing. When I do readings for myself, I do much better having a general awareness of things to look out for, and then doing a more detailed reading if and when things come up. So, like, I'll do a reading for myself on my year ahead readings are what energy should I be paying attention to for each month of the year. But I'm not going to look for actual things like what's going. I won't look at what's going to happen. I'll look for what, like I said, what energy. Like if so then the card will come up. The card will come. So that's like, okay, say the 2 of Swords come up. Oh, you have a difficult decision to make. Well, then if I find myself having to make a difficult decision, then that's my signal to go, oh, this is a situation. I need a deeper reading into that. That's kind of how I do my year ahead, week ahead, month ahead. Whenever I'm doing a look ahead. That's how I do it, but I'm just curious as to what other people are doing or not doing for a year ahead. I do my year ahead today, and I've never had so many nice cards in my life. I think I'm more nervous with that than the challenging years. Yeah. That makes sense, because just the fact that you gotta work, eat, sleep, blah blah blah. You're always waiting for the other shoe to drop, right? I think the gemstone industry is behind these correspondences. Yeah. Or these correspondents are behind the gemstone industry, because once you know something is popular, what happens? Everybody else tries to corner the market on them and make a profit. But anyway. So la 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 la. So this is pretty basic and simple. There's not a lot of excitement here, but I've noticed that if I get in here like this, these two are really close together. If I get in here with scissors, I have a chance of cutting the fabric. But if I get in here with a thread cutter, stitch ripper, it just. And I've got to really, I'm not putting any pressure at all. So that's something else too, right? So you can just this one's a little close together. There you go. Oh, a couple of clips got missed. Okay, that one done. Now I just have to go over, and what I'm going to do, I'm so lucky. What I'm going to do is the machine behind me, that one there, coincidentally, I've never set it up that way. That one there coincidentally has the tension exactly right. It's exactly the right tension for when I swing by next. Next I come by and I fold them backwards. It's because you've got to go through every single one of these. Every single piece of fabric that you see has also been folded, right? So it's got to go through a lot of fabric to get that corner done before I can sew down. This is coincidentally at the exact right tension. So what I'll do, move that over there for now. That's just going to go over there. When I'm done, I'll switch things over, get over onto the other machine, and just zip them all up. The other machine's a little slower, which is fine. But when you're going through a shit ton, the extra force that's created by the machine going faster is fine. But when you're trying to go through too many layers, you kind of don't want it to be too fast. But anyway. Okay, what did I miss? I think Tammy. Okay, Tammy says reflections, and then we did a year ahead. The year ahead was that your head was really interesting, but the last year reflections was spot on. It was an amazing reading. I think there's something that you typed up that didn't go through, because I'm only seeing your last two comments. And it looks like your first comment was halfway through a sentence. So I don't know. I'm not quite understanding your meaning, and I think it's because there's something missing. Don't you just love technology? You click a button and nothing happens. Click a button. Anyway, so this is my day for the rest of the day. And if I can get enough of this shit done, I shouldn't call this stuff shit, because then you guys are going to go, oh, you really stand behind your products, don't you? If I can get enough of this step done early enough, then I can be over there finishing it up, and then we can have it in the shop by Thursday. This is all going to be in the shop. This is going to be all in the shop by Thursday, but the idea is, I've already got some other stuff too. I did some of these. Let me see. I didn't do a lot. I did these before Christmas. These are single pocket pouches. I've got a small basket of these. These are going up on Thursday. There's only I didn't go crazy, because with Christmas coming up, these ones. Oh, hey, speaking of Zodiac, these are going up. I've got 2 in green and 2 in blue going up this week. So there's some Zodiac. I like this fabric, but it's There's no but. I really like this fabric, and it looks really nice. I really like this fabric, but some of it's upside right and some of it's upside down, which is not a problem. But because the stuff is so big, sometimes things get cut off, and that's really amazing for the bigger bags though. But anyway, I did a bunch of bags. Oh yeah, look. There's this one. I just did there. This is going to be a standard drawstring. That's already done. Anyway. I gotta stop that and get back to work. Oh, don't be sorry, Moira. I mean, not Moira, Tammy. Five questions for each reading. I think I need a dress in that Zodiac fabric. That is a metallic fabric, so it wouldn't necessarily be a comfortable dress. I let go of this for a second. There we go. It's a beautiful fabric, though. It's gorgeous. It actually has a friend, and I haven't really got into the friend much. Because whenever you buy fabric, it's part of. They don't just do one fabric. They'll do like a whole set. What do they call them? This is where the self-learning. I'm mostly self-taught for sewing, so this is where self-taught comes through, and you don't know the term for something, right? But whenever they do a fabric, they will do it as a set, as a collection, So that if you want to make a quilt or a dress or a something, that you can have coordinated fabrics to go along with it. And that has, I should go get it. I'm going to go get it. Let me pin this first. I can sew that. Oops, I got to put that on there. That's in the wrong spot. Come on. Get that down. I'll be right back. I am back. So there's that. Now this, let me just get this back out. So there is a slight, oops, wrong one. There is a slight color difference. This color is paler, but this is a blue that's very similar to the darker areas of the blue on here. So this is not showing up quite accurately. Oh no, wait, let's change cameras. I think it's showing up better on the other camera. I'm not down you up this way. There we go. Yeah, it's showing up a little more, it's showing up a lot more accurately on this camera. So yeah, so this one here, and they both have, now I gotta switch cameras again so you can see the metallic. It's like, this is why they both have metallic elements. The gold on this is all metallic, and the stars on this are all, well, you can see a bit of that when I move it, but all of the stars are metallic on this. And this is a thread, this is done up in a way so that it's not going to release glitter. This one here can over time release some glitter. It looks like glitter. I don't know what it's supposed to be. This one here won't do that. So yeah, so that's coming. I've done a little bit with it. A patchwork, a fabric collection. Yeah, like when you go to the fabric store, yeah, you'll find, like, you can see it all the time. I just don't know what it's called, right? But they might release anywhere from 4 to 20 complementary fabrics with complementary colors so that you can just grab what you want. A patchwork scarf or shawl. I'm actually going to be working on a project. I'm probably going to do it. If I do everything correctly, let me put that over there. Just flop things down. I don't know why this area is always a mess, but anyway, I'm going to be working on, I got this. This is coming up. I am so far behind. This is bad. This is that inexpensive This is a cheaper batting. It is it's the generic stuff that everybody sees all the time. It's about twice as thick. Yeah, it's about twice as thick as regular batting. And I'm going to be making a patchwork tote bag out of that will hopefully be self-insulating. I don't want to do an insulated bag because we don't live that far from the grocery store. I want a semi-insulated bag, and that should be perfect for it. So that's the goal on that one. That's there. Make sure that's closed. So I am going to be doing a patchwork on that, and I'm going to be processing one of the things that I realized I need to do is start processing screaming shit tons of scrap, so I can get ready for my next few quilts. And doing that while I'm on a live would be nice and relaxing and chillaxing, and because I have several plans for several types of quilt, and before I can do that, I need to turn all my scrap into 10-inch blocks and then go from there. So anyway, that is its own thing. Like I said, just getting the camera on and hanging out. It makes doing this a lot. This can get boring. This can get really boring. Doom. So having people to talk to and a reason to be doing some talking is actually good for me. So thank you. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, scarf. Okay, I noticed the word scarf. That's what I'm responding to. Scarves out of quilting cotton look pretty, which is nice, but I'm not a look pretty kind of person when it comes to stuff like that. I just want it to be warm. So I don't know if Lisa would want one, but I think I should try a patchwork scarf. That would be fun. I just don't know how I would do it. There's a couple of ways. I could do it with batting. For Lisa's quilt, we are actually using flannelette instead of batting, which is really cool. I'm going to try and get a bunch of it on camera so that you guys can see how it goes. It's also quilt as you go, which is fun. But yeah, I want to do a year ahead reading now. I have a feeling that this year is going to be a really good year for me. We've got so much stuff. We've got so much stuff going on, but Lisa's got a ton of stuff going on. But yeah, it just feels like it's going to be a good year, you know? Okay, leave that. When you're flipping these bags and getting ready to flip this part over, if there's too much of a, I don't know if you can see it here, but it gets really, if you just fold it, you can end up with like, that's almost half an inch right there. That's going to be folded in if I'm not careful. So you really do want to get that folded out, iron it, finger press it. Why, hello, Dustin. How are you doing, son? I'm just hanging out, just doing a thing. Sewing and chatting and sewing, and not trying too hard to make anything happen. I don't know if it's all the same people. I don't know if it's all the same people here. Uh-oh, Aurora got a bunch wrong. That happens, honestly. I mean, maybe that's going to be our group project. One of the reasons why anybody with a computer can put up anybody with a computer can get online and start talking about a thing. And if they get it wrong, the information can end up getting passed around in ways that mess everybody up for a while. At least you're honest and you're admitting your mistakes. And that is something that 99% of the population does not like to do. So God knows I hate admitting I'll admit when I'm wrong, but I don't like it. Busy prepping all my social media posts for the next week. Yeah. I already did a couple. We did a couple of car chats for the podcast channel, and I got those up and scheduled. Doing this, I'm kind of redoing what I do, because finding time to dedicate to pre-filming is a lot more difficult than just turning the camera on and hanging out. And if I happen to have something to show, I'm not switching over to only lives, but I'm probably going to be doing a way more. I'm probably going to be doing, it looked like my thread was acting funny, but it's not. By the way, I like this. I like this, that you don't have to get in there with a screwdriver and tear it all apart. Anyway. As soon as it's over, I'm going to rewrite everything. Honestly, you know what? Okay. Well, you've admitted that there was mistakes made. That's good news, number one. And now we've got enough interesting information that we can all do our own research, look things up, and we can all learn something today. Yeah, lives are easier. Well, with me doing what I do, with me doing this, by the time it can be an entire process just to clean up and get ready for proper filming. I even have to use a different camera for filming. Because if this little guy here, this little guy is just pointed at the table for when I'm turning the other way and doing stuff. Come on, why'd you do that? Okay. But for me to do proper filming, it makes no sense unless I'm using a much better camera than this is. So yeah. See, we forgive you. It made a fun conversation, and now we all have things that we can go look up. Next time I'm live, we can report back. Exchange notes, figure out where we got it right, figure out where we didn't learn. I mean, we all learn something, right? It's no big deal. No big deal. I'll tell you right now, I've made bigger mistakes on purpose. So is what it is. But anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna be doing lives way more often over here. Because I don't always have something new and fun to show. So that's fine. Always happy to stop, back up, answer a question as they come up. But we can do live, and then we could talk about anything. We were talking about the Chinese and the Western zodiac for a good part of this. And having fun doing it. And Peggy's biggest mistake. Oh yeah. Yeah. Dustin's the problem child. Oh, January birthstone and Aquarius birthstone are still, yeah, they're both garnet, so that's fine. But I'm going to be doing more lives on here with a lot. I don't want to say less intention, but with me sewing for a living, finding the time to think of a separate project that would be fun to show. I don't always have time for those projects anyway, so chatting about other things will be fun. There we go. And then I think we've already decided that what we've already decided that what I'm going to do though is I'm going to keep the tarot channel going so that when I want to do readings that I can just be over on, making mistakes is more fun. It shows your integrity by owning that. Abso-fucking-lutely. So when I do tarot readings, I can still do them over on the other channel, and that way nobody gets confused, because these are, I think going forward, this channel is going to be still about sewing. I'm still going to be sewing, but I think this channel is going to become, I think I'm going to get a lot less structured on this channel because it'll just be easier to stay caught up with it. But yeah, tarot readings are still going to be on their separate channel. The Etsy channel has kind of run its course because I only really wanted to present a small collection of basic things to begin with. I can't deep dive into jewelry. I don't make jewelry. I can't deep dive into drop shipping. I don't drop ship. I can only deep dive into exactly what I'm doing. So, and not everybody does that. So I'm not doing that anymore. Not anymore, but anyway. There's a story behind the garnet. I want to hear that. But anyway. Yeah, Dustin, you do. I don't know if Dustin's still here or not. You do mostly lives now, right? It's just a lot. That's something that Lisa and I realized over the break. It's a lot easier to just set up a live. Couldn't really do lives for a bit though. Had to figure out how to do. If I'm doing lives on this channel, I need to be able to have a second camera available. I don't have to use it, but I have to have it available in case I'm showing stuff. So we got that sorted out a couple days ago. I think there's like a really awkward video on this channel that I hit. Okay. Oh, enjoy your cuppa. Have a good day. Is that Bruno behind me? I see his little belly. Oh, yeah, that's Bruno. That's Bruno. I can't go get him because I won't. He's allowed in this area, but I won't pick him up when he knows he doesn't get picked up while I'm back here, because then I could end up with dog. There's already a small chance of a little bit of dog fur, which is just the cost of doing business, but he's not. I don't cuddle him or touch him once I'm over here because he's a shed monster and will shed all over my clothes and then get all over this stuff. So that is Bruno. Let me see. Where is he? There he is. There's Bruno. There's my boy. There's my little boy. He will lay there. Unless I disturb him, he will probably lay there for like a couple hours. The name garnet comes from the Punica granatum, the Latin name for pomegranate. Oh, that makes sense. According to the Greek myth, Hades gave Persephone 6 pomegranate seeds before she left the underworld, so she would always return. I remember there was a myth about that because he kind of trapped her, but then agreed that she could leave. Yeah. That's interesting that it's named after the pomegranate, though. Makes sense. Same color. Oh, crows are over there cawing as well. All the critters are doing things right now. Where's Shayla? Is she over there? Shayla's not around. It's funny. Shayla is a gorgeous little dog, but she is camera shy. Oh, she's camera shy. I don't know why. I always thwap this off the corner of the desk. Well, table. Desk. I think I have a desk. I have a table. What is my tarot channel? Tarot. Peggy Does Tarot. My channel is Peggy Does Tarot. I don't know if I have it linked. Do I have it linked? I don't know. What's going on? Oh, that shouldn't even be doing that. I am so slow at this. Lisa is just like boop, boop, boop. Oh, is that why? Is that why there's a pomegranate there? I don't know why it popped up like that, but that's my tarot channel. I'm not sure if it's taking to the channel or to a video. I suck at getting links. Sorry, but that's the link. That's the link. I'm kind of hoping for going live twice a week in any combination, here, there, one, the other, both. I don't know. I'm just wearing. We have had such a warm winter this year. It's been like, there we go. We've had such a warm winter that, yeah, no snow yet. Oh, no, we had a little bit of snow. How much snow did we have? It snowed for like there was like it looked like a light dusting of frost by the time it was done. That's the worst we've had so far. We usually get a few days. We've got El Nino happening this year, and we always get affected really strongly by that. So, oh yeah, he is living his best life. Did you guys see the video? Where did I put it? I think I put it on TikTok. I forget where I put it. I'm just messing around with social media. Oh, 38. Yeah, that's not fun. No, it's probably like, we do Fahrenheit up here, but it's probably like 65 or so outside right now. It is not. It's just a cold spring day right now. Chilly spring day. That's about it. Yeah, just Bruno cannot stand Lisa and I being too close together. So I managed to finally get a video of him. I should. Oh, that's why. Yeah, we have it on the Lisa. got it on Lisa's cell phone. Got it on one of our cell phones. I forget where I put it. In Missouri, 38 in Missouri? That makes no sense. That makes no sense. You guys are not supposed to be. Is it normal to get that cold in Missouri? Because 32 is freezing. 38 is just 6 above freezing. That's like being like 7 or 8. No, not even 7 or 8. That's like being 4 degrees here. We're going down to about 38 like at night, and that's only happened a few times. Oh, you should be colder. Okay. Why? I guess I keep thinking that Missouri is further south. I'm in Canada, by the way, in case for anybody doesn't know. I guess I'm thinking that Missouri is a lot further south than it is, but you should. Well, we're on the other side of the mountain on the coast too, so. But when we do get bad weather, it's like nasty. Because we also are not necessarily ever prepared. Ooh, 22. 22. Yeah, I'm from Ontario. We would get at least 1 or 2 minus 30 or more days. So I know what it's like to be in the cold. 38, 6 degrees in Scotland. Yeah, so we're probably getting about the same weather at Marion. It's warmer than that. It's been warmer than that this week, though. I should go out and see if any of the, by the mountains. Depends on what side of the mountains you're on. We're on the ocean side, so we get all those warm air currents. And apparently we're going to be getting some rain. We've been getting rain all week, so that's fine. Yeah, maybe next time I go live, if I can sort it out, if I sort it out properly, maybe next time I go live, because apparently I'll have to check with Lisa. But we found a workaround to having to pay $500 a year for for single camera support. Have the fires gone out? Oh yeah, fire season's over here. Fire season has been over for a while. Now that we've worked out the workaround on the cameras, it might be possible to set up a ProCam. Yeah. Oh yeah. -4. Yeah. Wind chill. I've lived in Ontario, Southern Ontario. Wind chill matters. Oh my God. It's kind of funny to explain it to somebody who's never really had to deal with it, but is that no good or is that fixable? Well, there you go. Every now and again, I should have stopped and showed you guys. There was a loose thread. You guys probably saw me dealing with it, but every now and again there's a loose thread, right? So what you do is you trim it, and then you check and see if it pulls out or not, because there's loose threads at the factory. So if the loose thread is part of the thing, you're going to end up with a hole. But if it's a loose thread at the factory that accidentally got woven in and you trim it out, just look, see if there's a hole. There's no hole, because if there was a hole, I would just retrim this down into a smaller bag and be on my way. I gotta show you guys how. That's really simple, honestly. If that happens, you just cut the bag. You just cut the bad part out and then just flip it back inside out. I'll make it sound so awkward that nobody will ever want to do it. But next time if it ever happens to me, I will stop and show you exactly what to do. Just like I did a couple of things today. So. Yeah. Our fire basically I'm out here in BC. So once you get out of the lower mainland area, the rest of the province is pretty heavily forested. So we actually have a fire season. It's a seasonal thing that happens. As much as a forest fire is a shitty thing, there are benefits. Which I don't know what they are, but they are. Allows for new growth, clears out all that nasty undergrowth, the bad stuff that's bad for you. But yeah, we actually have a fire season here, and this year's fire season was not nearly as bad as we've had in the past. We had some fires up around Kelowna. But the good news is that once you've had a fire sweep through, all the crap is gone, so you're not likely to have another fire in that area for 10 to 20 years. Small blessings, I guess, but it does. What do they refer to it at? The fires back in April were devastating for New York. Oh yeah, because you guys had some fires down in your area, yeah. They often refer to it as refreshing and renewing. But I would rather it not happen at all, but that's okay. Anyway, my throat's getting dry. Yeah, I'd love to go to Scotland. I found out I'm a third Scottish. I'm a third Scottish, a third Irish, and a third British. And then, like, the leftovers are Scandinavian and native South American for some reason. And that's on my mother's side, who is very, very English. So I don't know how that got there, unless a native South American for some reason immigrated in. I don't know. Anyway, the things you find out when you take a DNA test. Oban, Scotland. New York is nowhere near Missouri. Yeah, but the smoke. We not last year, year before, our fire season was so bad that it was like, oh wow. Yeah, the fire season was so bad last year and the year before that we were waking up to like dark. The sun was so obscured with haze from the fires that it looked like, I don't know, it just looked like crap. Well, thank you, Marion. One of these days we will. Because she's part Scottish too. I'm not sure. I've got to double check. Yeah, I thought I was going to turn out to be German, so that's what happens. But anyway, yeah, we had such bad haze, and stay indoors advisories. It was really bad, and we were just in a situation where Washington area was having really bad wildfires. Basically, the wildfire season was so bad that we had wildfires happening on 3 sides, so there was no way for the wind to blow without blowing in smoke from other fires that were like hundreds and hundreds of miles away. So, and of course, as much as that was a pain in the ass, nobody's walking around freaking out because the people that were in those areas had it so much worse. But it was uncomfortable it was surprising how problematic something happening hundreds of miles away turned out to be for a lot of people. Yeah, you know what? I would love to go to the British Isles in general, to be honest. That sounds like a great bucket list destination. At least the Dust desperately wants to go. Maybe that'll be next year's plan. Go on a nice tour of all the things. Yeah, Scotland would be interesting. I knew on my mom's side, it's like English, Wales, whatever, right? A little bit of a few other things. On my dad's side, it was Scottish, Irish, and on my dad's side, it's like 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. But yeah, so now I've got a bigger collection starting up over here. See, I've got a much bigger collection. I've got stuff in the way. I can't make it as big as I usually do, but I can have like up to 20. because I've got my power pack for my computer over there and stuff like that. But it'll just be shoving out the back. It's bad, but it works. But if you're making yourself a bunch of bags and you happen to be able to use the same color thread and you happen to be picking the same design. Oh, technically, Lisa could call a trip to Scotland research for her deck because the national animal is a unicorn. Honestly, we could probably at this point, considering what Lisa does, we could probably write off. You still have to pay for it, but you could come home with a tax break. Well, you have to have some ethnicity. Everybody has some. Everybody has some, and sometimes you get surprises. I now. There is no negative association for me. So let's just start every sentence. Nothing negative for me. But I took a DNA test, and that's how I found out my father's not my father. Explained a lot. Explained a lot. But I thought I was like on his side, the guy who raised me, on his side of the family, there's native DNA, blah, 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 blah. And I just got curious because his background was very Heinz 57. So it's like, oh, I bet you there's probably related. Everybody's related to somebody if you go back far enough. But yeah, so I was mostly interested in his side of the family, and turns out that I'm not on his side of the family at all. So that was an interesting little discovery. But now it's like, well, this is interesting and it's coincidental because I would love to go visit the UK, and I would love to visit all the things in the UK. I don't know a lot. I'm not going to pretend I do, but the stuff that I do know really, really fascinates me. And it's like this, King Arthur and stuff like that, right? And it's like, oh, this is the side, it's like, oh, this is my bio dad side of the family, who I have no idea who he is. I've got it narrowed down to a possible last name, but how common is Wilson, right? So, come on, get in there. But, which is really unfortunate, because if you'd had a less common last name, maybe I could have got done a little research or hired somebody. But anyway. Yeah, so it's like reaching back. It'd be interesting. It'd be really interesting. And when you do those DNA tests, they give you some pretty specific things. I think it lists a couple of towns where there's a predominant. They don't do it by name. They do it by the genetic association. So it's like, oh, a lot of people in this town share your DNA. So I think I can do that. Wow, my grandmother managed to trace her father's line all the way back to the Revolutionary War to a soldier who fought beside George Washington. That's kind of cool. That's really cool. I've always been fascinated by genealogy in general. Not to deep dive. I don't know that I would ever be able to do that any justice. But I was actually really easy tracing my not my bio dad, the other one. It was really easy tracing his. Just because of the it was just really easy because the name was also not as common as like a Smith or a Jones would be. Well, you want to hear, you guys, did we talk, where did we talk about this? Lisa and I just talked about this. Oh, we were telling our friends at dinner. Basically, when Lisa and I first got together, just a second, I gotta blow my nose. There we go. Sorry about that. I've got a pimple. 59. I turned 59. I've got a bloody pimple. But when Lisa and I were first newly married, she did a reading for me, a past life reading. It was a past life reading. And generally speaking, her past life readings will also talk on a lot of topics, right? So basically, she's doing this reading. She's doing this in-depth reading on me. And she's like, turns cards. If anybody has seen Lisa do a reading, she almost always forgets immediately after she's done. But she remembered, she'll remember bits and pieces if you remind her, right? Anyway, we're doing this reading. This is like 15 years ago, and she goes, turns cards, looks at the cards. She goes, well, the man who raised you isn't your father. I'm like, what? Now, there had been a family rumor. This gets interesting. This gets interesting in all sorts of, wow, your family are weird. This gets interesting in all sorts of ways because my mother admitted that she had dated, my mother said that she had dated my uncle, then I met my dad, dumped my uncle in order to marry my dad. So the family rumor, because she was pregnant when she got married, the family rumor is that he might not be my dad, but if he's not my dad, his brother is, so the family accepted me anyway, right? Because I found out after I was an adult that my family didn't like my mother nearly as much as my mother thought they liked her. Anyway, so I do a DNA test just for funsies, thinking, well, if he's not my dad, apply Hobie. Oh, it's already gone. It's just still itchy. So that's why I've been rubbing my nose because it's still itchy, and now that's why I gotta blow it. It's like talk about one little thing. I mean, if you're sitting there and you go and you're at home and that's one thing, but you don't do that in front of company. And I feel like I have company right now, so I just feel, I don't know if I feel self-conscious in any way that's like debilitating, but it's like, oh man, I keep rubbing my nose because it's itchy. But yeah, the pimple itself I think is gone now. It had a little head on it, and I got rid of it. So, but anyway, apple honey, interesting. Oh, apply Hobie. Don't you love typos? Oh. Anyway, yeah, I think it's going. I'm pretty sure that it's gone. That it's just going away. But they're always irritating. They're always irritating for the little bit. Anyway, so she tells me, "Oh, he's not your father, right?" So I take the DNA test, and I'm taking the DNA test. I'm taking the DNA test on the assumption that if he's not my bio dad, I'm never going to know because that's the same family. It's like, so now logistically speaking, if my father is, oh, something's happening. Be right back. Come on. I know, Bruno. I'm sorry, baby. Okay, either I'm draining the battery faster. Oh, that's smart. You know what I did? I didn't plug my computer back in. I've been running on battery this whole time. There we go. Sorry, guys. Sorry for the mega awkward, but it popped up a warning saying that my computer was going to shut down soon. Anyway, so if your father is your uncle and nobody else in the family, if your father is your uncle, the only two ways to find out is if your sibling takes a DNA test or your father does. The person you think is your father does, right? Well, he passed away years ago, and unless by some strange coincidence my sister ended up taking a DNA test, I was never going to find out. So I took the test. It's like, well, if he's not my bio dad, my uncle was, so I'll still get the same family tree results, yada yada yada. And it's interesting because of the stuff the family's talked about for years and years and years and years and years. Take the test. Well, he wasn't my father either, because I don't. I've got a bunch of cousins who have taken DNA tests. They're not, I don't match to any of them. The family name, my dad's family was very inbred, so there is zero chance. There is a zero chance that I am a member of that family, because even second and third, the thing, hey, mom and dad, 50%, 50%, right? So you get 50% of your parents' DNA. Well, on both sides of the family, my grandmother and grandfather were cousins. So it's not 50%, 50% equals 50-50. It's like 100%, 100% because of the way it's the way genetics works, right? I know I know I am insanely simplifying it, but my grandmother, her parents were also cousins. So there was way too much inbreeding in that family, so that I can be matching up as first cousins to people who are actually second, third, fourth cousins, depending on which relative it is. And I found hundreds of people with DNA tests. Yeah, I always wondered if my dad's twin brother was my dad. Yeah, and and if they're identical twins, you'll never find out because genetically. And if they're fraternal twins, you will never find out unless either one of your siblings, who, if your sibling is also that person's child, you will never find out unless you and your bio dad both take a test. Because then you'll show up as being, I think it's like 35% related. It shows, right? Anyway, so what happened with me, and I'm not in contact with my family and haven't been for years and years and years. So I don't think closure would have been helpful. Honestly, the situation, the family relationship was already pretty crap. Walking in one day with proof that he wasn't my dad was not going to do me any favors anyway. So, with that in mind, I have never tried to I've been out of contact with my mom for like over 20 years. I'm not going to get in contact with her now just to ask her this. I could probably hire an investigator and find out, but I'm not that worried about it. But yeah, so it turns out, so basically I'm looking this up and it's like, blah, 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 blah. Great grandfather's name is Wilson. It's like, that's not possible on either side of the family. It's like, okay, because, okay, the grandfather's name is Wilson. Okay, that's fine. But I'm still, because of grandmother's family being related to them, the same DNA should be showing up, right? And my grandmother's parents were possibly as close as first cousins. So we're talking like very, very related. Not one drop going back, not even a sixth cousin. And that's not, with the strength of the connection caused by inbreeding, it's not possible to be showing as not related at all. And that's going back. Like, okay, if you were adopted, you're going to show zero relationship to your siblings, right? Unless you're adopted with your siblings, of course. But yeah, so the math of it gets weird. The math of it's actually kind of boring, but mathematically speaking, with the number of people in his bloodline that were listed in all the different things, and there's a way to take your thing and compare to others outside. It gets weird, right? There's no way. So basically it's like, okay, so then the link I do find is through the name Wilson to a second cousin who did reach out to me. And it's like, well, I shouldn't be related. At first I thought, okay, well, I guess it's just not possible. Oh, if it was one of my dad's twin brother was my dad, they were different blood types. Blood type can give away a lot. If you know your dad's blood type and his blood type and your blood type and they don't match up correct. But if everybody's type O, you won't know. Certain blood types are so common that it doesn't tell you anything. But if their blood types do tell you anything, that'll help. But yeah, so my story got really weird really fast because these people are not in my life for a reason. There was not really the emotional damage of, oh my God, what's going on? So it became a really, really interesting try doing DNA testing in Utah. Well, like I said, my grandparents were cousins. Okay. My grandfather, his parents may have been cousins, but their parents were. On my grandmother's side, she didn't even have to change her last name to get married, and neither did her mother, because her parents were like possibly first cousins, and they were related. And it's not even just they go back to the same. They went back to the exact same person. Like it's not like this brother's kids. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, they were all descended from the same person. Not even this person and this person's brother. So with that in mind, it's like, yeah. So basically finding out how narrow that tree was, it's just a single freaking branch. It's like, oh, I'm so glad I'm not related to them. But it made a lot of things. It made a lot of things in my life make sense. So there's that, which actually is kind of closure in its own way, because I always knew my mother resented me. I always knew my mother resented me. She's not as subtle as she thinks she is, but I always assumed that it was because she was okay. I always assumed it was because she had to get married because she was pregnant with me, but it's like, it's not my fault you got knocked up. But then realizing that my parents bickered constantly. They should have divorced. It's like, oh, you stayed in it because she'd already had a baby out of wedlock that she gave up for adoption before she had me. So it's like, oh, you don't resent me for being his. You would just resent me for existing and forcing you to marry somebody that you wouldn't have normally given the time of day. She already has a baby out of wedlock. She's living in Smallville back at a time that, different blood types. And he was my godfather. Yeah. No, I look exactly like my mom. And my parents would never have had the resources to adopt. So I am definitely hers. If I'm not, well, and I found, basically, I did the DNA testing, and like last year, all these DNA testing sites, because I went on, once I got the result for the first one, I went ahead and got another one, right? And a different one. They now show maternal and paternal links, and I'm definitely I'm definitely related to my grandfather on her side. Because I found a first cousin that if I was adopted, I wouldn't have been related to. So I wouldn't have been related to as closely. So I'm definitely hers. I'm just not his. And it's very likely that, yeah, it's like, whether or not he knew, he probably didn't figure out for a while. Basically, talking about the birds and the bees back then. Yeah, the South American comes in on my mother's side for some reason, whose family is like all from the British Isles, UK, whatever you would have called it back then. Almost nothing else. Scandinavian on my father's side, on the bio father's side, have no idea where the South American came in. But I'm showing up as being like, it's only 1%. It could even just be statistical noise, for all anybody knows. But yeah, it says Ecuador. So it's like, okay. So now it could also be that there's a very tiny amount of Spanish. It could also, because when it's 1% like that, we're talking 6, 7, 8. Yeah, see, this is the thing. If I can get talking, I can just knock these out. But we're talking like 6 generations, 6 or 7. When it's 1%, it's like 6 or 7 generations back. So it could just be that this family, it could be that this genetic bloodline in Ecuador comes from the same person as Ecuador is Spain, isn't it? Or is it Portugal? Anyway, so that could be where the connection is. It's just the one random Spaniard gets into the bloodline and that does it. But back in a minute. There we go. So yeah, who knows where that came from? Because unfortunately, these things only go back so far. So it could just be that, like I said, some random ancestor from Spain that I'm related to. Most of his relatives are now in. I get shit done if I talk. I can get so much done when I'm talking. But anyway, that one's not going to go there. So this is where I have to start. That one can be there. That's where I have to start double checking though, because anything that I've picked my top stitching design, but anything that I don't want to use that top stitching design on is going to go next when I have a different design up, because of the way I sew them. When I flip everything over, I'll have to remember when to switch designs. And it's like, I don't want to screw around with that. Right. But anyway, so yeah, so this is literally, for me, this is literally just trivia. I mean, I've talked a little bit about my family history before. There is no loss to find out that I'm not related to one of them. So that's fine. Oh, feel Portugal? Yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, there's no, Tammy, there is absolutely, this is literally just interesting trivia. This is shit that I dealt with all this shit a very long time ago. That's why they're not in my life. I haven't spoken to my mom in 20 years. And I'm perfectly happy to continue not speaking to her for the next 20. It's totally fine. I'm fine. And like I said, finding out just how freaking narrow that family branch is, I'm really glad I'm not related to anybody in that family, in that group. Because none of those guys are in my life. Once I came out, I don't know how to describe this. I'd already naturally drifted away from a lot of those relatives. A lot of all but one of my aunts and uncles on his side are gone now. So there's no relationship to regain that way. Oops. Okay, do you know what happens? This bloody machine, and you guys can't see it either, but I just noticed the bobbin ran out. The bobbin ran out and I didn't notice. So that is the side. Okay, it's not like anything bad happened. So I'm just going to do that. Put the clips back in. This is just, I had a machine. Okay, this is, turn that off. Now this is what I do. Okay, because what I should be doing is checking the bobbin. This is a mistake. This is something I shouldn't have done. I always keep at least 4 or 5 extra bobbins of black kicking around. So I've got 2 choices. I can pick this out and redo it, which I don't want to do because there's a really high chance that I'm going to, even with the stitch ripper, even being careful, I don't want to spend that much time on it. Okay, here's what's going on. Actually, this is what I'm going to do. I'll tell you exactly what I'm going to do. I'll show you guys a thing. Let's learn a thing together. Let's learn a thing. Okay, that is the end of that. This one is fine. We're going to put that over there for now. We're going to put that over there. Okay. Now, this is the one I was just about to put on. It's fine. I can restitch it because nothing actually stitched. Nothing stitched on it at all, right? I'll just set that there for now. This is what I do when I fuck up. Now, sometimes I will, depending on the design, sometimes I will go over the design. And if this is not, okay, this is black is a good match because of the black background, but doubling up over this area is going to show. And this is going to show on somebody's bag that they are paying me money for. So that's not going to be okay. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to cut that because I'll just wreck something. I'm going to do that. I'm going to get this out. This works for me. Oh, you know what? Pre-filled bobbins. I don't know. Now you're not in North America. In North America, the pre-filled bobbins, the thread that comes on those is sorry, I'm making an assumption on what you mean. I just do it whenever I'll just sit down and make. I buy the bobbins. I buy the empty bobbins by the 20. So now I've got that, right? Reach in, flip it over. Do. Come on. Do it right. I'm trying to do it quickly. You ever try and do something quickly? So anyway, finding out just how narrow that family branch is makes me really happy that I'm not blood related to any of them. And it explains a lot. My mother wore the pants in the family, and my dad just kind of stayed out of it. But, my sister was the favorite. Well, now I know why. She was his. Where am I going? Okay. Do. I'm just going to go down one. I'm going to downsize. So this is a standard bag. This was supposed to be a standard. So I'm going to put that down there. Now, my stitching goes to here. So I can tuck that all the way up into the corner. It is not long enough. So I'll tuck that one all the way up into the corner. Don't forget, this has already been stitched. So I'm going to line up this with the stitch line. So the stitches, let's do it this side. I'll show you how I'm going to line it up. I'm marking it on the other side. So I'm going to push that all the way up into the corner, okay, with the stitch line. And that's fine, okay. I have to do it flipped over because this won't show up. on anything else. So I'm going to do that and that. And then I'm going to baste it. I'm going to leave my opening here. I'm going to sew that, trim it like I've been doing all morning already all afternoon already. Oh, I'm sorry. There are pre-filled bobbins, Moira. You can go get pre-filled bobbins. People get them like that all the time for embroidery. But so there's just pop them in, get them in black. You can get them in black or white. I used to have a big box of them. But thing is that they're a lighter, they're for embroidery, so they're a lighter thread than regular sewing thread. People get them because they don't want to. The people get them because they're easier than messing around, but then they end up with a lighter thread than what they really wanted. So yeah, they are a thing. But no, I will sit down and I will, depending on what I'm doing, I'll sit down and do 7 or 8 because I'm always going through black, always. But anyway, so yeah, so that's how I will downsize. And what I can also do is, if it really matters to me, say this is a really, really premium piece of fabric that I don't want to waste, then I'll go over here. Here's the other option. I'm not doing it with that, but what I will do is I will get into, I've got a couple in black, so I can really make it obvious. What I will do is go, what size do I have? I always double check because it depending on what the mistake is, I might have limitations. So what I will also do, like this is a mini. This is a piece of interfacing that I would use while making. I pre-cut extra interfacing every time I do it. Every time I cut interfacing, I'll pre-cut extra to get a head start on the next project. So I will, and like I said, it depends on what size of bag I'm making, and it depends on the kind of mistake I'm making. So if this is a premium piece of fabric, I've got some of this left, so I don't need to agonize about this, right? But if this is, oh my God, that's my last piece, I really don't want to waste it, then I just double check and see which one fits. This is for a standard. Obviously that's not going to fit, but so then that will go in. I will just cut, right? I will just cut it out, iron this on, or stick it in the pile to be ironed on later. But I will double check the sizes. So I will either downsize. If this had been a large, then I could downsize it into any of the other 3 sizes. Because it's already a standard, I very rarely get a small. I almost always get a mini, and I don't have to throw this away. Oops, I actually try to avoid using the black unless I'm working with black. By the way, if you find that the only interface, and this is iron-on interfacing, if you find that the only interfacing that you get is black, keep in mind that if you do use black interfacing, it's going to look like shit if you use it on a pale fabric. That's why I only use the white. I got the black as a backup supply because there was supply issues, but I only use it sparingly. Anyway, so that's how you fix it. I'm just going to now and this is already a bag. It's already a thing, and my pile for minis is right there. I will finish that the next time. Everybody made an ugly tote bag. Oh my God. One of my very first sewing bag projects was an ugly tote bag. Now look what I do. It's fine. Okay. Anyway, so now, generally speaking, what I'll do, obviously, I won't stop and do that in the middle of doing something. I will just kind of guesstimate. It's like, okay, I might be able to get it into a smaller whatever. I will guesstimate and put it in whatever pile. And like I said, if it's a really premium fabric, I will come back, and if it's a really premium fabric, I will swing back. I always make sure that the one with the hole in it is done first. So I double check, because if you're going to chain them like this, do this one first, because as you're fiddle farting around to do the opposite side, these holes can open up, shift. All those threads you just tucked in can end up poking out. Okay, I'm going to leave that. No, I'll do that anyway. Okay, if you're not going to use a leader, you don't have to. I will take the tip of my let's turn this back over. If you're not going to use the leader, which is buried under that pile somewhere, you don't have to. I've got flat. My tip of my scissors is flat. I don't know if you can see that. See it's a little flat. It's not super pointed. So I will take it at a bit of an angle so that I'm not risking ripping into my fabric, and I will just start like that. I do want this. I still want this stitch design, so there's no point, right? Anyway, so where was I? I was saying something interesting. I do not know. I'm not feeling judged at all. I do not know how to make clothes. I probably can. I mean, I can sew, but no, clothes are the things I did really badly at, which is why I didn't have the wherewithal to try anything else. I've made tote bags, quilts, purses. Well, not purses. What is that thing Lisa carries around? What's that supposed to be called? Is it supposed to be called something? Anyway, I can probably do some basic simple clothes, but oh, it has been fun, Tammy. If you say goodbye to Tammy, everybody. What am I doing? This is what I'm doing. Oh. What am I doing? What am I doing? There I go. Sorry, I realized there was something I need to do. That's wrong. Oh, wow. It's been a while. How long have I been on? When did I come in? Oh, my. Oh, my. Oh, my. 2 hours. Yeah, I don't care. I don't really care. I'm actually getting so much done. If I can, I'll come on every day if it's going to help me get my work done. So, do I have any more that I want to do on that? So this pile is done because I had to stop, cut my thread. Once you cut your thread, once you have to cut your thread, it is better to. Once you cut your thread, it is better to stop. Wow, look at that. Stop, flip things over. I'll do it separately. Flip that, flip that. Not the end of the world, whichever way you decide to do it. This makes me a little faster, a little whatever. Obviously, I can do this one separate by itself. Yeah, that's what the quilt making is all about. Hey, look who's here. Got Christy in the house, Queen of Shovels. What brand of sewing machine do I recommend in the $200 or less design? I would recommend, I don't think there's much in the 200 or less. There's two different machines. There's the one that I would recommend is actually the Singer Simple. I don't have one anymore. We gave it away. Found out we rehomed it. The Singer Simple is one of the least expensive machines on the market, but it's while still having a heavy duty motor. Oh, Rose has got to go. So the Singer Simple, the heavy duty motor is what comes. It depends on what you're trying to make. Now, for me, how do I describe this? Okay. This piece of fabric every single piece of fabric that you see has also been folded because when you flip things around, so this has got 2, 4, 6, I've got to go through 8 layers of fabric, right? So some machines just are not as strong to go through multiple layers of fabric. I've got a couple of things. I've got the one thing I do, all hail the Queen of Threads, all hail the Queen of Shovels. How you doing, Christy? A heavy-duty motor, when... Let's see. It's been doing... That's the 4th time that's cut out today, but in 2 hours, it's not that... A heavy-duty machine will punch through stuff, right? So the Singer Simple. There's also a Singer. There's any Singer machine that comes with a heavy-duty motor. They're not nearly as expensive. They're fairly easy to get service on. They're fairly easy to learn how to do your own cleaning and stuff like that. The Simple does not have a whole lot of design options, but it has your basic zigzag and a whole lot of other stuff. If you want fancy stitches, oh, Marion's got to go too. Yeah, it's getting late for people. That's okay. Yeah, that's a Singer. That is the one back here. That's a Singer Quantum Stylist, 9960. It's got a ton. It's got a ton of top stitching options, which is what I'm doing right now. Is the top stitching, right? If that is important to you, then you may want to try. Oh, thanks, Christy. Oh, you wouldn't sew your fingers together. I tried a Brother machine. But the Brother machine was good, but it didn't have a heavy duty motor, so it didn't sew as well when you had to start folding up your fabrics and getting into thicker. Because even if you're sewing, like, you could end up having to sew through 5 or 6 layers of fabric at a time, even for simple projects. That matters. So if all you're making is quick generic grocery store bags or doing a little bit of mending, a Brother is good. I forget what one it is. It's I should pull that out and play with it. I can switch out, and if I'm gonna go live and just hang out and shoot the shit anyway, I can be using different machines so you guys can see how they work and get better ideas on what you may or may not like. Oh, Carol's Cauldron has to leave as well. Happy New Year! Yeah, and Happy New Year to everybody. But no, I like okay. I like the Singer machines. Well, okay. So the love seat, our love seat is just in front of me here. This is what just happened. Love seat is in front of me here, right? So every now and again, as I'm using the foot, it just kind of slides around. Every now and again, it will kind of wiggle its way forward and get underneath the back edge of the couch and just hold itself down and just goes and just keep sewing. So you got to dig your foot in there, pull it back. Anyway, a good basic machine, as long as it has a heavy duty motor, it can even be gotten fairly cheaply at any thrift store. When you're going to a thrift store for a machine, it's always going to be a good idea. Going to a thrift store for a machine isn't necessarily the cost savings. It depends on a whole lot of things, because if you're going to get a machine at a thrift store, unless you know how to clean it yourself, it's always best to go take it in for a cleaning and a tune-up, which is fine. But yeah, Singer Simple, anything from the Singer Simple series, as long as it is there. I think they have one that does not. They have like 2 or 3 under that series. But yeah, Singer Simple is the best. If you're going to start with a brand new sewing machine, they do come with a warranty. So make sure that you are paying attention to. If anything happens, you can take it into a service center and they'll just fix it for you, as long as you haven't done really, really, really obvious things. So you got to make sure of that. But that's for anything that's brand new. So. Biggest thing I'll tell anybody who wants to get their own sewing machine is, no matter what sewing machine you get, the first thing you want to know, the first thing you want to teach yourself is, how, if you don't already know, is how to open it up, clean it, and oil it. Because it's not that hard to do. It's really easy to do, but it's like $100 or more a pop. Take it in to a service center and get them to do it. And a clean machine, the Singer over there, I know when the Singer needs cleaning, because all this fancy stitching will suddenly be a little tiny bit off. I get in there, I clean it, it's perfect. This could be costing me $100 every couple of months to run it in for clean because I use my machines so much, right? It could be costing me a lot of money to keep these machines up and running if I'm sewing this much and not know how to open them up and clean them myself. Maybe next time I come live, that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll come live next time I have cleaning day. I do plan on doing lives more often though. We can talk about anything. I just accidentally cut the thread. I'm not done yet. That's fine. Okay, that one becomes a stitch leader, but not one that's going to get sewn in. One thing I will say about electronic machines, it can be really easy to press a button. Like I said, I just habitually hit the button and cut the thread when I'm not ready to cut it yet. No laws. It's not like you're supposed to do it this way. I just find it easier. Oh, the bags are all stuck together because I'm just chain stitching them. They're not stuck together. There's like, a little bit of space between the bags. This is just quicker and easier than stopping, cutting the thread, trimming the thread, putting it all away. This is the easiest way if you're doing a large, because I'm doing sometimes I'm doing 20 or 30, sometimes I'm doing this to 20 or 30 bags at a time. There's another reason why, I forgot to say this, I've been holding this as a little secret for the last hour. Another thing is if I'm not ready to, if I've got other stuff going on, I can just hang this whole thing up somewhere and they'll all be in one spot. They won't go anywhere. So it does make it a little bit easier to store sometimes, maybe, depending on what I'm going and where I need it to be. So they're not stuck together. I'm just bringing the next one up. Because the feed dogs underneath, those little teeth underneath, that's what pulls everything forward. Yeah, chain sewing instead of chain smoking. I used to smoke. I don't miss it. So I'm just holding this close and not sewing them together. But they are chaining together. Because you also, okay, look, I just got that little teeny tiny bit of thread to cut. When I get to the end, I'm going to have stuff to trim. It saves on thread actually too. A lot of people quilt like this as well. They'll get everything lined up and do everything in pairs and then finish it up that way. But yeah, I should probably think about getting going soon. It's only been 2.5 hours. This is just supposed to be a hangout, so we're not really tackling any earth-shattering issues here, and we will just keep things going. I know a few people left. I know a few people have come in. So just to repeat, because I can, because apparently I love hearing my own voice today. I'm still going to be showing stuff on the sewing channel. I'm still going to be about the sewing this and the sewing that. I am going to try to do more lives. On the lives, we are going to be if I have something to show, that's fine. But also, we're going to be all about just random topics. The more random, the better. Having random conversations while I get shit done, because me needing to get shit done has been what's keeping me from coming on and doing videos, and I like the social piece. So that's what's going on. That's in a nutshell. That's the thing that took me 30, anybody who was here from the beginning, that's what took me 30, 40 minutes to explain when I first came on. But anyway, I'm also going to continue doing, now that I haven't done I haven't done tarot readings on my other channel in a while now, but I am going to do those. I'm going to keep them on the other channel. That way, if you see that I'm on that channel, you know that whether or not we end up shooting the shit and chit-chatting, you know that the focus is going to be, one of the focuses is going to be on doing tarot readings. Free tarot readings, no cost, yada, yada, yada. So we'll keep the two channels separate, but this is going to be more of a, I'll show you guys and do tutorials if and when I have time, and I'll come and hang out. Because this, as long as I can work while I talk, I can do this every day. Every day might be a bit much, but you know what I mean. Actually, there's a couple things I can't do. There's a couple things I cannot, I don't know how I would manage quilting while live streaming, just simply because I don't have enough space. I know there was a couple of shorts that went up, and I think you could see just how piled up everything was. I'm obviously not going to be able to go on live while everything's like piled up on top of all the equipment that I need to go live with. So yeah, so this here, almost no, I'm just separating them carefully. I'm using a stitch ripper because if you use scissors for this, using a stitch ripper, you just get it in there and give it a little tiny push, and all it's really going to cut is a thread. I'm being careful on this one because it's a little too close. There we go. So I don't even have to come back and trim everything, but when I get at the ends, I'll have to trim it. So yeah, this, I don't know why it just feels like it's faster and more efficient but that's for me. That's personal, right? If it doesn't feel that way, don't do shit that makes you feel awkward or uncomfortable just because you saw it on a video somewhere, because that just makes sure you stay awkward and uncomfortable. $2.54 a gallon. Oh, I am going to be doing, I talked about this earlier today, the divider bags. I don't think I'm going to be making them. I just don't have time. But I'm going to do a tutorial, and I'm probably going to do it live so that I can show everybody how it's done. And that way I can show everybody how it's done while being live to answer questions as we're going through. At least that's the plan right now. But yeah, the divider bags, I'm doing those. I'm definitely doing divider bags. I have to get this batch. I don't have to, but I want to get this all listed. I want to get this stuff done and listed for Thursday. Thursday is the day I usually list things, right? So I want to get that done. So once this is done, I've got that. Once this is done, I've got the quilt to do, which is going to be quick. But once these are done, I'm probably going to come live, like, you know, Thursday, maybe Thursday, Friday, if I can have this done on time, and do a live tutorial showing how to do the divided bags. They're actually really easy. They really are. The trick to doing the divided bag has nothing to do with the bag. It has to do with how you're folding up the broadcloth inside. I get it. There are decks that are quite the investments, and I'll wait as long as it takes. Well, I mean, okay, you're a friend. Just message me. I'm on your Facebook. Happy to do a favor for a friend. Unfortunately, I do not have the bandwidth to be doing them for the shop. If I ever get another helper, that'll change. Which shoulder is it? Which arm? Which arm? Which arm? Oh my God. That's my tattoo. My son designed it. Well, my son helped design it, and then we had a really, really awesome, amazing professional who finished it. This is it's a much clearer tattoo than you would think. It's just the camera not being cooperative. Lisa has a tattoo that also has a yin yang in it. See, I stopped because I got this design now, right? And obviously, I can obviously flip everything all at once. I'm going to take a break from this and flip this. This is like, okay, this is like hand and body. Remember we talked about, well, I did a video. I will never, if I ever get the chance, I will try to, I'm not going to show you the one on my thigh. I've got one down here, but it's just so that's my Firewater Yin Yang. That's my Phoenix. And that is the key. It's got a little, let's get close. Let's see what we got here. Where is it? Oh, it's kind of faded over time. Oh, there it is, right up there. It's got the rainbow in it, and it says Butch on it. And it's a key. And Lisa's tattoo is a heart-shaped lock. Just saying. So let's get down there. Let's get down there. Okay, that's my tats. I got the one here. We're talking about, we haven't decided yet. We are talking about getting me like a, I don't know what they call them, because when it goes all the way up, it's a sleeve. We're talking about like a short sleeve with a dragon on it. Very stereotypical and very, very the thing, but it's also very me. So we will decide on what that's going to look like, and then figure that out in the future. But yeah, getting all this flipped is no big deal. I find that it's easier to do that. But anyway, Hand care. Repetitive motion injuries in crafting. Even though I'm still sitting here and still doing stuff. Doing that, I probably could have taken a rest. I don't really need to, and that's fine. But changing what you do to change the motion, and because there's like so many little muscles in here, right? So changing what I do, I'm still flipping the bags, obviously, but now I'm just flipping them and not flipping and going over there and doing that. Changes the pressure and the stress on it. It re-engages other muscles, it changes things. I don't know how to express this. I do not know how to express this properly. I'll babble for 30 minutes or more, and then I will come up with a very succinct, easily understandable way to say the same thing. Yeah, oh, I want a dragon. If dragons were real, I'd have 6 of them. I would not care. Anyway, so changing what you do, changing how you do it, because like holding your hands up and doing this, that's a bit of shoulder, that's a bit of whatever, right? Sometimes if I want to get stuff done, but it's like, oh, I'm having that old lady achy thing today. I will do one bag from beginning to end, then do the next to maximize the number of body positions that I'm going into. So repetitive motion is from doing the same thing, right? So the more positions, the more whatever, but you don't necessarily have to stop what you're doing. But if you change what you're doing, you change the muscle sets that you use and give and reduce the risk of repetitive motion. And I'm sure somebody with more training than me would be able to explain it better. But it's like giving my hands a rest by going for a walk keeps the legs healthy, gives that sort of thing. So I'm doing the same. I'm doing the same thing just by doing a different job. Anyway, that's a thing. Yeah, that's going to be black. It'll be fine. So I'm just going to get a bunch of these done, get them out of the way. But now what I can do, no, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, so I've got, this is just the stuff that's going, this is just the stuff that's getting done in black. And this is all inside out, so you're not getting much of a look. I got the black cats. I love these black cats, and they photograph so badly. So badly. Watch this. I'll show you. See that? This is from the back. This is from the back because of the over dyeing, right? Watch this. Just watch this. This pisses me off every time. Every time I do these bags, I've had people contact me and say, that would make sense. In an episode of Animal Planet, The Most Extreme, it was believed that when medieval Europe first encountered crocodiles, that's when the legend of dragons were created. This is little skeletons. This one here is cats. Cat faces. See? Cat faces. Right? And then I flip it because this is a gorgeous fabric. This is a very gorgeous. Well, I really like this fabric. I really love this fabric because the cat eyes are very glowy, but of course now it's going to show up. Maybe try the other camera. Yeah, see that? Let's bring the other camera up. See. Yeah. Can you see the cat? These are so difficult to photograph. It's like I've had people, and if you don't get it just right, and of course, then you take the photo, then you upload it to Etsy, which may or may not change the photo a little bit. Then you see it on your screen, which may or may not change the quality of the photo a little bit. I've had people contact me and say, "Oh, hey, I'd love it if you did cats." And I'm like, "Well, I've got this one," and they're going, "What are you talking about?" Because they can't see it. Like, we'll set that there for now. Get it out of the way. But Lisa had a black cat named Baylor. He was adorable. I mean, he's been gone for a while now. He was like, oh God, I think he was 10 when we got together. So, he passed, old age. That's to be expected. But yeah. I've gotten quite a bit done today. Like a lot. A black cat named Boo. I'm trying to remember. I had a calico that was mostly black, but that's different. That's not the same. That's not even close to the same. I guess now that I got these ones on top, I might as well keep doing them. Flip the pile. Flip the thing. But yeah, I probably have to go soon. How long have I been on? I think I've been on for almost 3 hours. Yeah, I started streaming at 1. I started streaming at 1, everybody. Let's do that. That shouldn't be doing that. I think I figured out when my camera was, why my thing was stuttering. Though I had something running in the background I didn't know about. But that's okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna do a tutorial. I'm gonna do the live streams, yada yada yada. If I am doing something particular on the live stream, then I will say, come and hang out with me while I teach you how to do blah or whatever, so that everybody knows that there's going to be an attempt at a theme, and then we'll go from there. But I think I'm going to get going now. I'm going to get some more of these done, and then I do have to take a break, or my body's going to go, screw you, lady. What the hell do you think you're doing? So that's fine. It is what it is. But Happy New Year. Thank you for hanging out with me and keeping me company. Maybe I got a lot done. It doesn't always feel like a lot when you turn around and go, well, there's only 20 over there. And it's like, yeah, but I did all these different steps. This is one of these things where you're working away, you think you're not getting anything done, and then suddenly you're almost done. Which is that is the downside of doing things in large batches like this. Like if you do a bag, I'm going to get the stuff, I'm going to do the thing, 15, 20 minutes later, I've got a bag. You've got something done. But this nothing's gonna look or feel done for hours and hours and well, for probably not till tomorrow at the earliest. Lisa is a sweetheart, and I totally appreciate the compliment, and that's fine. Lisa is sugary sweet. I like sugar. It's fine. I've got a sweet tooth, but I'll tell her to be a little meaner sometime. My God, I can be an asshole. So. Lisa needs to be sugary sweet to put up with me, though. So we'll give her credit where credit is due. So I gotta go. This is my problem. We call it the long goodbye. Anybody else do that? Where the minute you walk in, you have to start saying goodbye because you know it's going to take you 3 hours to leave. Yeah, that's me. Anyway, I am going to go because I'm going to finish how many of these do I have? Oh, I only have one more. Okay, I'm going to say goodbye while I'm doing this last one. Then I'm going to go and take a break, an actual break. Never be afraid to take a break. Never be afraid to take a break when you need it, or find something else to do that uses different muscles, different whatevers. And don't forget also, they always say stretch before you do whatever, but if you have a tendency towards repetitive motion of any kind, yeah, the Minnesota goodbye, yeah, we should invent our own name for it, but yeah, everybody has one, right? Don't forget that stretching exercises and stuff like that are not meant for just when you start. It can be when we end. I get on my high horse about it because I have had a repetitive motion injury in my shoulder. And I would hate to see somebody end up with that same situation just because. And like I've said before, what works for me doesn't necessarily always work for you. But I'd hate to not mention something that might be helpful, and then find out. Oh, did you try this? No. Anyway, off my soapbox now. Going to get off of this and get going. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'm probably, whenever I do have a chance to come live, it's probably going to be during the week, and it's probably going to be starting around anywhere between 1 or 2. I'm going to try to remember to put up a community post to take a bit of a poll. If people's most favoritist times are reasonable for me to accommodate, then I'm absolutely going to do that. Otherwise, we'll just stick with what we're getting because I got a day job. I got this and have to do it anyway. So we'll see. But I will try and get a poll up. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. Hey, look at this. I can do this. There. Thanks for hanging out. I'm going to get going. I'll see you in the next one. And have a Happy New Year. Bye.